episode of Criswalkz Realtalkz, where we talk about real life, real people, and real experience. Today, I'm with my friend and business partner, Darryl Palapuz.
What's up, everybody? Thanks, Chris, for having me. This has been awesome. I've been trying to get Chris to do this for like weeks now. I was like, when are we doing it? When are we doing it?
It's been
like,
a month. And we didn't even bother because we didn't have a place to film.
Yeah.
And what were you saying? Suggesting my car?
Yeah. It was like, one option was like, okay, we can do it in your car. I have like car mounts and everything. Or we could do it at a park or just outdoor or, yeah. It's like the most randomest stuff.
And then today he messaged me. He's like, oh, let's do a podcast. Let's film it today. I was like, okay, where? And then he's like, oh, my parents' place. I'm like, okay, perfect. So this works out for us.
Exactly.
Well, let's start with what we have right in front of us, you guys. We have food we're going to be eating during the stream.
Yeah.
We're going to call it
Soldat.
Soldat. Yes, that's right.
New restaurant.
This is newly.
Or new restaurant? Yeah. New name? Sorta.
It's a different business though.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not the Chinese one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's just Korean now. So Soldat on St. Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
We got the bulgogi here.
Please sponsor us.
Soldat, if you're watching this, please. We're gonna be eating this like a mukbang. ASMR. Ooh, that looks beautiful. Wow.
It comes with it?
Rice?
I thought it was just a rice.
I thought it was just the thing.
Oh. But I was like looking for rice. And you said you wanted bulgogi?
Yeah.
I was like,
It
I
comes
see
with it.
kalbi.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So you can have the rice, I don't want that. And then we have half and half chicken. And I'll probably put it in front of you. Soldat. Whoa! Oh no, this is the cheese one. Wow. Look at that, that's phenomenal.
Oh, that's the one you got.
Yeah. So we have to add the cheese sauce to it. And then...
What do you got here? Here's the half and half.
That's the half and half right there. Ooh, joyous.
See that? Juicy.
Oof. So yeah, this is I wish it was a sponsorship by Soldat, but yeah, we're just eating it. It's really good food. Go check them out, you guys. St. Mary's Street. Really good Korean food.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong. So as we eat, Darryl, introduce yourself.
My name's Darryl. I'm a cinematographer / fashion photographer. When I started, I was only doing photography back in, I want to say late high school, early university-ish. And then at the time, photography was already hella saturated. And I'm like, you know what? I wanna try doing something else. I was like, I wanna be different from everyone.
Correct.
And at the time, I was like, style-wise, my style seems pretty the same with everybody. So I'm like, okay, what can I do? I was attending University of Manitoba by the time, and they were offering film studies. I thought, I love movies already, and I figured, might as well learn compositions, everything I could learn for filmmaking, basic filmmaking and stuff like that. I didn't think I would enjoy it at the time. When I started, this was with Kevin, Miguel, Kevin Del Rosario.
Oh, it's Rosario.
Yes.
Yeah, he's our other buddy. Shout out to Kevin if you're watching this. We should podcast with you soon.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's all right. We started doing, comedy skits, dance videos, Kevin's dance videos.
Yes.
And that's where we started.
I remember,
music videos, cool stuff like that. For the time being, since we were all in university, that's where it all started, right? That we kind of like, it didn't matter whether YouTube. It's just rambling.
We didn't have YouTube at the time.
No, we did.
No.
This is like late 2010-ish.
Oh, yeah, okay. No,
So
YouTube
it's
was
already
brand new, like 2008.
Yeah. So, yeah, like 07, 08. We had YouTube, but it wasn't, how do you say it? It's like...
It wasn't peak.
It wasn't peak, yes. So we had like Timothy Leggero at the time, Nia Higa, Wong Fu, right? Like the OGs. But, for us, we just wanted to start something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whether comedy skits, is that Tom? All right.
Time out. I'm eating.
Okay.
Just talk loud, Tommy. Well, good, man. This is the guy from episode number 2.
Hey, let's go. Special guest.
Special delivery.
See, all the way from Brampton, Ontario.
Thank you.
Oh, they're rolling 6 minutes in.
Came clutch with the cab. Another sponsorship that we wish we had. Cab Tapioca. Best bubble tea in Winnipeg.
Can confirm.
What'd you say, Tommy?
Make your boom and make it boom?
Oh, I'll make you boom.
I was rolling, yeah, it's only my text fine. I can speak up.
Salt deck food is so good.
So that food.
So
Oh,
we
yeah,
got,
soju too.
we got the cheesy bites.
Whatever's left.
They're all boneless. We got the. Have you ever had soda?
I don't know. Did we go Sodak one time? No, we went to Little Korea.
Yeah, this chicken's way better than the Korean, that's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, hands down. We're hungry, so we're gonna eat first. We like the
Lost
interruptions.
my train of thought there.
Feedlers.
But anyway, yeah, like university, we were doing YouTube dance videos, comedy skits and stuff like that. We're trying to find our own style, right? But I think at that time it was impossible. We're just trying to do what everyone's trying to do, what everyone's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for music videos, I was helping Kevin, who also have his YouTube.
At the time.
Yeah, so it's like help him build his brand, while at the same time get my brand, 8th Grade Studio, started on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was a year later or a few months later, we met Moses Duat, Mimosa, Paulo, shout out to them. And yeah, we kind of had this partnership. Moses is in the music department, so he provided the sound for us for our videos, everything like. At the same time, we would do his music videos as well, and yeah, it's just pretty much it grew from there. And for me, what I wanted to do was, by the time I finished university, everyone was still attending university, and I wanted to, do something different. So I got into like short films, and I wanted to work with other people as well. Maybe come up as like camera operator and stuff like that. And that's when I got introduced to Kai Wong.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that's when Kai Wong. And that's when we started, working together as well on action films. And to this day, we're still working on a few things. There is one I can't tell you yet what it's about, but we're trying to get funded, and hopefully it becomes it's properly funded for feature film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The feature, like
this is
we're
right
aiming
now,
for
right?
2024. So
This is right now, right?
something like that.
Ooh.
Like we only filmed the proposal for the pitch package.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have something concrete already, and we're just
Ready to go, eh?
It's pretty much, yeah.
For those who don't know, what is a proposal in terms of a film package, you could say?
So basically, proposal is say producers or people who knows producers or anyone who could do some funding. It's a presentation, right? So you present it to them. This is what we have. We filmed this to kind of give you almost like a first look in a way. So it shows you what the
Isn't it like
what
a
is
trailer?
not exactly a trailer. It can be a trailer. It can be a trailer. What we ended up doing was we did one full scene that leads to the next scene. So it's just
like
it's
a
just
pilot.
a teaser, not a pilot exactly. It's like a 10-minute, but it's like a teaser that gets you like, I watched it and I want to see more. So I'm like, okay, now, so we reeled you in. Now you want to get funded, right? So what you can get more out of it too, right? We filmed that last year. We finished the pitch package roughly late summer, I'd say, or early fall. We're just gonna keep going until we get the funding, and yeah.
So for those that are watching, we need funding, okay? We need investors. We're looking at you guys. So if you want to get in this investment, you know who to call, Darryl. Now, my question is, before we get into a whole another spiel here, because you said you were in university.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you touched base on what or why.
I was in university for architecture.
Woo.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh.
Oh
Oh no!
Technical difficulties.
Fix it in post.
AI.
There. Yeah, I was in university for environmental design at the time.
What? I did not know that.
It was alright. You know, after 2 years, I'm like, I'm kind of getting sick of it. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Burnout, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah, it's about there.
Burnout.
And then I had a pretty light course load.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I'm going to take a film as a minor.
Okay.
Because I had a few spares for both summer, or for both fall and winter term. So I'm like, I'm gonna fill it with some film studies stuff, whatever's available. I'll take it. So I took intro. I took experimental cinema.
What's
Boring.
that?
Boring as fuck.
Experimental. What do you do? You just like touch things?
No, you're just basically watching films, all the film categories.
Like,
Again, I won't bore you into details, but
like
it's just
great
like
films?
learning.
Like,
So
like
you know how
great
there's
movie?
different era of filming.
Oh yes.
So it's literally that touching base on what it was before to what we have now, right? Not a lot of people really talk about it, unless you're like a film student or something like that.
Interesting.
But yeah, I took that. It's a whole year course.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had to. I remember very vividly. I always make sure that I bring like 2 big bottles of Red Bull in class. Just try not to fall asleep because it's so fucking bad. Oh my goodness.
So these are movies that weren't interesting.
Not at all.
Damn.
No.
Are we allowed to swear on this?
Of course.
Oh,
It's real life, bro. Real talk.
After intro courses, at the same time, I was like, it's not just fun; it's learning for me. So I did learn all the compositions in filmmaking. Having learned that made me appreciate movies a lot more because now I'm not just watching it for the entertainment. It's like, yes, my eyes can see it, but like understanding it to a whole another level.
Yes.
Just I don't know. It's just like a whole level up for me, and I kind of wish that people see it the way I see it, the way movies are also meant to be seen, not just for the viewer for the pleasure. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it sucks. Yes, it's very predictable, but there is another way to enjoy it if you really understand what's happening, what's being shot, why it's shot like this, etc., etc. And yeah, that's what made me appreciate filmmaking in general even more, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about it.
I want to add on to that because I know 2 amazing artists here in town, Vince Tang and Rain Vermette. They have both they've been in the same boat as you, as they went to U of M for architecture, and then they left to do film.
No way.
So hilarious, and it's good to hear that someone else went through that.
I did graduate and everything. In the end, I'm like, I don't feel like I wasted. I mean, technically it is. Like if you're a parent, obviously it's a waste.
Like from an
But-
Asian parent perspective.
Yeah, from a strict
Exactly.
perspective.
At the same time, I don't regret it
Mhm.
because if I didn't go through it, then I probably wouldn't find cinematography, filmmaking
The
in
opportunity.
general.
to
So
sit
exactly.
down and, yeah.
So that's one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. Like, I just kind of like stumbled upon it.
Can I ask another question?
Mm-hmm.
How has architecture help you as a filmmaker? Like from what you've learned from university, how have you applied what you've learned from that into your filmmaking?
At first, I really struggled with it. It got to the point where I kind of had to turn off my architecture
Mindset?
brain
Yeah.
to really look at it from a different perspective. You know what I mean? I was starting from zero, learning composition, so it felt like I had a fresh mind about everything. The transition going from architecture to full filmmaking. Again, it didn't feel like a struggle to me at the same time.
Like it wasn't forced.
No, it wasn't at all. Like, the way I see landscape, I still can kind of see it in architecture. Like, my architecture brain kind of works that way,
Yeah.
but when I apply it to, like, say, photography, it works, but sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't work all the time, right?
Yes, yeah.
But at the same time, I have that appreciation for it, that it kind of, because at the end of the day, it's about design, right? Designing. So I can still kind of see it that way. Yeah, I'm not about that life anymore. Sorry.
When you mentioned like the insight of watching a movie now, can you paint a picture or somehow explain how that works to the viewers that don't understand?
All right, that's a good question. So the way I see it is that when you learn composition, the way I call it is different ways of seeing. That's the best way to put it. Because when I watch it, I can see why they shot it this way. I can see why the angle is different. So composition wise, the gist of it is that, say, if the camera is looking down on you and the character is looking down on something, so it makes him like a hero, right? It's like a hero shot or something like that. So it makes the person powerful.
Oh.
Yeah. And then if the camera is like way out looking down on the character, it makes him small.
Bro.
So yeah, it adds motion. Because again, cinematography is about emotion as well. That's the biggest takeaway from it.
Wow.
And from people, I don't know. I guess it's really hard to see emotion if you don't know what it means, right? Some got it hard. Some are pretty good at understanding it.
Mm.
But unless they're like showing full emotion on their face, they won't exactly understand what's happening on the scene, right? So
and most of the time they're acting, right? So you can't really tell.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like, when I read reviews or just like random posts on Twitter or Facebook, it's like, oh, this suck, like these guys don't know how to act. I'm like, how do you know they're not acting?
Exactly. How do you know they're not acting?
It just boggles me. I'm like, okay, like it's just someone watching a movie, but they're not really analyzing it properly.
Yeah, like the way that you have the bird's eye view to see and understand how a movie's made.
Yeah,
we know, like I don't. So I get your point.
No, it's fun. Like I love that I get to enjoy movies in a way that others may not understand.
Yeah.
I'm constantly looking at myself. Like, say when I watch it, I kind of watch myself because I make these weird reactions when something happens. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's this? Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand. And I was just kind of watching it, right? and this is why
so you're laughing to
it's
yourself.
so hard to watch movies with like families or even friends.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what the fuck? And everyone was like, ooh. I'm like, seriously?
No, that's not it.
Exactly.
I get what you mean. I'm like that too.
The worst part is like watching horror, because like when I started, I was doing a lot of horror films. I did a lot as a independent, the underage race with Kevin as well. But also one of my first films that I worked in the movie industry is a horror.
Oh,
A horror
did not
slash
know that.
thriller, right? Kind of lost the ability to get scared because you know how it's filmed. So when you see something, it's hard for me to have that kind of feeling again, where I'm like, oh, this is cool, or I'm like, oh, I'm so scared, right? It's hard to get that now, right?
Experience to go in.
Yeah. But there's a few that I still really admire, like Insidious, Conjuring.
I love
those
Insidious. I love
series.
Conjuring. Like those two,
But
bro.
anything else other than that, it's really hard. Oh, another one, Quiet Place.
Yes,
Love
Quiet
those.
Place. That's a great one.
Good sound design. It's so amazing, but you kind of lose interest at some part of it because you know what happens. You know how it was shot.
You know how it's staged. Yeah, that's the difference. So like,
I'm like, yeah, some of them are CGI, but at the same time, I'm like, damn.
yeah. So like for me, I don't understand that, right? Like I've never been on until I met these guys here. I'd never been on set ever, so I didn't know how they stage things, right? Like lighting, sound, how they do movies, like those angles Darryl was talking about, and then he's telling us about like how they stage the scare cams, right? So that's crazy to me. Like to me, that's all wow. Like that's all new. But like for you, you understood it. So it's weird how it works. And I've been a videographer for how long? Bruh. Tommy, did you know about these things?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
What? How did you know?
YouTube University.
YouTube University.
Fancy.
That makes
See,
sense.
I didn't experience that.
Yeah, we didn't have YouTube University. We were YouTube.
Facts. Like when I started, like I wanted to learn. I could not learn off of YouTube,
No.
and even internet had it for a bit, but not a lot of resources compared to now anyway. Whereas with kids, like even you can go on TikTok or Instagram,
TikTok
and you
is
can learn
right there.
something, right? You
Yeah.
just follow a certain person they do all these tutorials or teach in a way, and I'm like, fuck, I wish we had these, because
Yeah.
when I was starting, YouTube was just, you know, for people to upload home videos most of the stuff. There's not a lot of productions. I'd
No,
say, that
it was more like a home, like you said.
yeah. Like the
home
only few ones that I've seen that are made for entertainment was like, again, like the Asian OGs, Wong Fu's,
Yeah.
Timothy Legato, Ryan Higa, all those guys, right? But at the same time, educational wise,
We had nothing.
there was nothing.
We
So
had nothing.
I had to go old school. I had to like read books.
We
and,
literally
like,
go into the library.
learn as much as I can from that, and then when Instagram was rolling around, even then, like it was so we weren't on the map yet. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Like we're not on the map yet, and the only way for you to learn someone is if someone was already doing it for like a long time, and they are on social media, and that's where it started for me. You know, like I remember watching videos by Philip Bloom, Vincent Laforet, a few other people in the wedding industry. And I was starting Jason McBanua, obviously,
Yes.
Ray Roman, but yeah, like again, not a lot of guys to choose from, right? Like now you got like Peter McKinnon, Maria Poya, a whole bunch of other people. But again, like if you just go on YouTube and search how to whatever you want to work, there is something. And when we started, we didn't have that, and that was the tough part. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad I went to the old school way.
Yeah.
Because now it's
It
like
makes you appreciate.
when exactly. Because now when you try to watch people, it's almost like a carbon copy.
Yes.
The predecessor.
Literally.
But like it's great. They're trying to find your style, but if you just keep doing it, that's
Like-
not his style.
like
That's
when-
his style. That's not your style.
Like when Brendan Wolfel had his little orange and
Yeah,
thing,
the pink
and the glue and whatever.
hue. Yes.
Everyone posted the same
Oh my
way.
goodness.
I was like, bro, y'all just copied him.
There's nothing wrong with it
No.
if you use filters or presets, but you know, for me, the difference is I don't want all my photos to look this way. I want it how to look because that's the way I see it, right? People trying to want to recreate the sun as a light for exterior light sources. That's what they use. It's pretty cool. It's funny because they don't really use it on film sets. I mean, only recently is when they started using the 600. It's a less chance. Because there's certain people who use their phone in the evening, but there's not a lot, right? So you're not reaching the full potential. Usually people get off work. That's when you kind of want to get on the social media, because that's when everyone's probably on their phone, you know, resting or
3 to 6.
yeah.
6 p.m. That's
6
a good
PM.
time.
Exactly.
It's at the same time as your 6 o'clock news,
That's alright.
but for social media.
That's alright.
No, that's
Okay,
yeah.
time to catch up. What I missed this time? Oh, Peter McKinnon. He uses DaVinci. Honestly, I still prefer Premiere. Maybe that's because I've been using it for like 8 years.
I've been using it too for that same amount, yeah.
But I do like DaVinci. No, they're good for different reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hands up.
Yeah, but for the majority of users, I would say DaVinci Resolve is a great start because it's free.
Yeah.
You have to pay a $70 per month subscription to get Adobe and all of the apps that you may or may not use.
Stupid Adobe Cloud.
It's like out of 20 apps, I only use 5.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Premiere Pro, Media Encoder,
Lightroom.
Lightroom, Photoshop,
After
Acrobat.
Oh, Acrobat.
right,
80
yes.
for
like the PDFs.
Yeah.
Yes. I had Audition to the list. I barely touched Audition too.
And
It's
maybe
just for-
Audition, maybe
it's
After
for-
Effects.
What's Audition like?
That's for it's
For the
I shouldn't say Pro Tools, but it is for some cleaning audio mostly. Yeah.
But we got AI cleaning audio.
Pretty much.
And it's also Adobe.
Yeah.
Damn Adobe. Oh, do they have stocks?
Adobe Stock, yeah.
No, like IPO or like stock, like actual.
Oh,
like,
they should. Yeah, they should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll buy.
Oh, they do ADBE, I think.
Oh, that's it. ADB.
ADBE. No, like
ABBA.
Yeah,
like Adobe, but no O.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Adobe.
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 Yo, that would be sick, bro.
Invest in some Adobe.
bought a new
I
stock.
remember when I started using, I think Photoshop. It was only Photoshop at the time. I used to call it, is that Adobe? Or like, oh no, I think I used to say Adobe. And then I finally got to talk to someone. Finally got to talk to someone on the phone from Adobe. It actually said it's Adobe. I'm like, oh,
it's Adobe. I thought it was Adobe.
See?
Adobe.
Funny. It's so funny. Oh,
Damn, what was it? Sorry, I just looked at the ticker there. What was the actual price?
$527.
Woo!
Right here on May 30th, and then it went even higher and higher. Here we are now.
I think it's because of the AI.
It's the AI.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Content awareness
generate film.
Yeah,
Oh my
generate film,
goodness.
bro. Yo, generate film. Fucking up one time.
Crazy.
I actually did it for our client earlier.
Have you guys seen the Harry Potter one?
There's Harry Potter one?
It was shot in anamorphic, right?
Ooh.
And then they uploaded it on Instagram.
Yeah.
But they use generative fill to fill up the rest of the frame. I'm like, what? That's so accurate. Like it looks like it was shot that way.
Yeah.
It's probably shot that way.
Like you took a
But I'm
8 mil
like,
lens.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then someone posted another one where it was a close up shot, and then they scaled it. They scaled it on Photoshop, so the shot's very in the middle, right? And then they just filled one side, then top and bottom. And I'm like, wow, now it's like a really wide shot. It's like legit. And they just mask around them.
Yeah.
So only them move, right? Because the rest of the frame is like very still.
Yes.
I'm like, this is so interesting.
You know how long it takes to edit that though? Like in Photoshop?
Yeah,
Days.
you need a pretty beefy computer.
Jeez. Back in the day, that would take you days, weeks
Oh my
even.
goodness. It's impossible.
Now
Like,
it's just
yeah.
like, okay, type it in.
Like even content aware wasn't really even that good. Like
No,
it could be good to some extent, but no, not that good.
I agree with you, it wasn't that good.
But before the update, I was still using it to edit the new photos from New York, right? Just to like fill some gaps on the sides. I'm like, this is so bad. I'm like, what the hell? Because Instagram crops is like 4x5.
Correct.
I'm like, okay, so if I don't want to crop it, because I'm gonna either cut the legs or the head, so I'm just gonna use fill on the side. I'm like, okay, I did the best I can, but it's just no.
That's funny.
Like it's just for Instagram, so unless someone's like pixel peeping, it probably won't show. But if someone really knows, I'm like, oh, that's not generative fill, that's content aware.
It's only us that pixel peep.
That's so true though. Yeah, that's honestly that's so
If
true.
you're not
Clients
a
don't
photographer,
notice it.
you're not gonna pixel peep.
Yeah.
It's
Clients
just
don't notice it.
Which is a great transition to the next question.
Oh.
Yes.
Have you implemented AI in your career as a filmmaker?
I wish I use it more often. So far I only use it for photos, for helping me cull my photos, especially from weddings, events where I would be shooting like thousands of pictures in a day. Like it'll just take me months to do a work, because like I have to pick each photo, look at each photo, and then the way I would do it before is I would rate them. I would rate them 1 to 5. 1 being I won't touch it, like edit it. 5 being I like this. This is probably my, what do you call it, like highlight, right? Mm-hmm. And then 3 being in the middle, like yes, I'll probably edit it, but it's gonna take me a lot of time to work on it. 4 is I definitely want to edit it as well. Same as 5, but it doesn't belong to my highlight photos. 2 is roughly same as 1, but it's a possibility. Like maybe I'll try it in black and white later, something like that, right? And now it does it for me.
Yes.
I just have to click a few settings on how I want to call it. So
Correct.
the one I used after shoot, it uses colors and then ranking system or stars to call everything how I would want them to be. And then I would just take those and then send them straight to Lightroom, which it does have a link. So it's like another dynamic link, right? Like Adobe's.
Yep.
And then on Lightroom, that's when I start to editing. But now there's the AI, Imagine.
Yes, Imagine.
That
Yeah.
I use. You use something else, I know.
I use something else.
But it's definitely not a way definitely not the look I would edit my photos, but it helps me. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, my clients are probably not gonna realize like, oh, this is different. But I try to get it to how I usually edit. It's very. I know in Photoshop you can probably do it that way, but you have to set everything up.
Yes.
So far, I haven't found anything that does that. Like picks up on my editing kind of workflow and then just kind of use that. But so far, nothing yet. Or maybe I just have to keep looking for other presets.
No, you never know. Like all these AI tools that came out recently, it's still pretty new, so there might be something pretty soon, actually. Probably after this podcast is published. You never know, right?
Sure.
Like new tools are coming out every day.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But no, I agree with you. Like the AI tools, the way we edit our photos are not the same as AI would edit them. So I get what you mean there. Like it's not how we would generally style it, and there's not a preset that has actually matched it.
Yeah.
So again,
it's like a hit and miss, right? But again, you're taking your own style, comparing it to a computer, so it's not gonna get it right away. But I think again, the more people use that program or all these programs in general, the more presets are probably gonna come out, and then you can probably just use those and use it to your liking. But the way I do it is I pick one certain style. I don't apply it in all my photos because I want to look at them one by one, and then I'm like, okay, if I'm good with this, then I'll just call all of it, and then same preset. Usually it doesn't really work that way, but I still have to look at all the photos, obviously. But, I'm pretty happy. It cuts down. The only thing is video. It's tough, but it's getting there.
We're still waiting for that.
It's getting there. It's not perfect yet, but it's getting there.
We're still waiting for that. There is that one for podcasts, obviously, so I'm going to try it for this podcast. But that's the only thing I know about is the cam switcher, right?
Yeah.
So that's all I know.
Multicam setup,
Multicam, sorry.
It's crazy how good it is, Obviously, you can only do it on, like, interviews with multiple camera setups, but at the same time, like, that cuts down your work.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a whole week, a whole month's work.
Especially as a content creator, for anyone that's in the content creation business. Yeah, like, it's
And then
crazy.
it adds all these subtitles for you.
So easily.
Like, we never had these before. Like, when I was starting, when we were starting.
When we were starting, we had nothing. We had to physically do it, manually do it.
Yeah.
And we had no
I did
fonts.
a whole blog in, 2 days, a week. I was like, done.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Shout out to AI, thank you.
And it allows us to get more jobs out there. GQ, for example, congrats on getting Sophie Lee gig.
Woo!
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Huh? I'm sorry, who?
What?
Sophie Lee.
Who? Say it louder for everyone in the back.
Sophia Lee?
No, Sophie Lee. Vancouver.
Thank you.
He's in Vancouver. Do vlogs and
YouTuber.
too as well, I think.
That's it now, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Congrats on landing that gig.
Thanks.
It's pretty awesome. I'm still doing the New York esports.
Yeah, esports, yeah.
Not as much
Sorry.
anymore. It's kind of not going downhill, but it's just that with AI and all these other things, all these other esports companies on the come up, it's hard, right? It's very competitive. I feel like they are on that kind of struggling side.
Yeah.
So if they don't get sponsored for certain events, then I can't really work for them. So it's like maybe twice per 2 months, or once per 2 months, stuff like that. It's great, pays the phone bill.
Literally.
But yeah, you can't complain. It's
It's
practice for After Effects, and it's fun. It's like you're gaming, but you're not gaming. I love it.
That's true. That is true. I get it.
You just edit Valorant all day. You don't even have to play. I'm like, oh, good shot. Nice. Use this.
And it's funny because you're a gamer too, aren't you?
Yes. I do a little bit of gaming.
Bro, I forgot. Because I remember we played Overwatch together.
Yeah.
The first Overwatch.
Yes.
Long time ago. Before it got super toxic.
And then we played the new season, and I was like,
for a week.
Kind of fell off. Yeah. Grinding for a week. I'm like, okay, it's boring now.
It's the same. It's like same shots, just different maps.
Yeah. I still play here and there. Now it's just like mostly League, TFT.
Oh, that's good play.
Yeah, it's mostly on my phone too. I barely touch consoles. The only thing I play now is
Your Zelda.
Switch. Yes.
Oh.
The Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Oh, he loves that Pokemon stuff.
And then the new Zelda, which
Yeah.
is it's great.
You're bringing that on our trip, right?
Of course.
Because I'm gonna play it too. You said you took architecture in university. Just to backtrack, right? But you also got involved with videography, movie sets, and all that. So how did that transition to doing freelance work? for like weddings? Because like we're business partners in weddings.
Yeah.
For those that don't know. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like, how did that from movie sets go into weddings?
I did weddings first, actually, before movie sets. I started doing weddings because, again, it didn't feel like it was saturated at the time. You know, I felt like it was a great time to enter the industry in Winnipeg, because at the time there wasn't a lot of people who offered it, and I'm like, oh, you know, this could be something. Like I'm learning, or I already learned video at the time, but it's like it's gonna be a whole different workflow. It's gonna be a whole different style, right? And I felt like for me, wedding was a great way for me to find my own style.
Yeah.
You know, filmmaking, or even if I couldn't apply it, it's an extra knowledge to learn on top of, you know, what I know and all that kind of stuff. Or maybe, you know, maybe what I can like use it to my advantage and do filmmaking this way, see how I like it and stuff like that. How it kind of transitioned to the movie industry is, again, I love movies. And it started with people I know working on short films. You know, like Vince Tang.
Yes.
I worked with him for a few times. And then he introduced me a few other people as well, right? Me knowing people knowing me. And then it usually when I started, it would be like a day thing. You know, like, hey, like, we need someone tomorrow, or we need someone today. Are you available? This is all you have to do. Blah blah. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm available. If I'm not, I have to let them know. But that's kind of how I got my foot in the door. My very first one was a Hallmark. It's a day call for a Hallmark. So
it was a Christmas movie, wasn't it?
It's a Christmas
movie.
movie.
I can't remember.
Like back in November 2020, like in the middle of the pandemic.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, we lost the documentary job, so I'm like, okay, I don't have no work, right? And I got that. I signed up on the union, I think back in 2018, 2019, and I didn't get 2018. I didn't get that email until like 2 years later. But I was
That's
thankful
slow,
for that,
bro.
because exactly. But that was like my way in, because after that happened, it just started rolling. You know, like after that, I got the horror film first person shooter, and then Holland Manor like almost like instantly right after. And yeah, it just snowballed from there, and it was crazy. That was a very busy year. That was 2021.
That was during COVID too, and then you
also had
Skynet right there.
And
bro,
exactly. All of that happened in the same year. Like when I did the lighting, you know, I was lighting grips, right? In the same year, in summer, July, I got into another Hallmark best camera, and that's how I kind of eased my way into the camera department. So I went from lighting to camera, right? And that was pretty great. And I did Skynet for like, I think 12, 15 weeks. I can't remember. I didn't start.
You did Skynet pretty long.
It was long.
I was like, yo, are you available? He's like, no.
Yeah, 6 months. Like filming in Selkirk every day.
Yeah, literally.
That was fun though. Like I earned so much money out of that job. Honestly.
That was a
But
good
I was just working.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I remember late nights, like 5 days a week, and then you still chose to like go out on weekends. So I'm like, I already work, right?
Yeah.
So
You might as
instead of just like staying at home and resting, I'm like, you know what? No, I don't want to waste it, because I don't want to feel that burnout. That's the thing. That's the most important part. Like when you start work, it's like still dark. Like I leave the house around 4 a.m., 5 a.m. maybe latest, and then you get home, it's still dark. It's again like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then it's start to drive. So I'm like, do I want to stay at home on weekends? Like, no, I want to go out. I want to do something. And that was my whole mindset, right? And for a lot of people who not sick of their job, but it's more so if you feel like it's all a routine. That's all you gotta do. You gotta
comment.
It's like on the tip of my tongue, you know, like when you hear something and you're like, okay, I know what to say, but then it's like, I forgot the word, but it's like literally on my tip of the tongue.
Like when you can't remember a name.
Oh, that's me always though. That's just me. That's a me problem. I literally remember names.
I didn't realize this until like the last couple of years. I'm so bad at names, because like in the film set, you get to meet all these people, right?
So many people.
But then the thing for me, that what I found out is that if I don't have at least a good 5-minute conversation with you, it's highly likely that I will forget your name. Unless we have an exchange.
Yo, I get you.
So if you're just like, say for example, you're just introducing your name to me, and then we don't talk for like remainder of the set or something like that, I'll probably forget your name.
All hands up.
It sucks.
Yeah, like I'm bad with names, but I'm so good with faces. So when
Me too.
So like when we're one and the same. So like when we see people we know, we're like, that's so and so, right? And then we're like,
No, for me it's like I know I forgot your name already, so I'll just greet you.
Yeah.
But
like if it came, what's up, bro?
Yes, exactly.
It's not even like their name. It's like, oh, what's up, bro? And then you wait till somebody says their name, and then oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Or I don't know if you do this the same thing. I look at the call sheet. I'm like, what's his name again?
Oh yeah.
What does he do? Oh, that's him. Okay, cool. All right, we're good.
Face the new.
That's so funny.
Is that an issue for you, Tommy, or no?
I would say so, yeah. I feel like if I don't talk to you in the first 5 minutes, I will forget your name. Because it's for me, it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe I should probably work on this, but like, if I don't need to know you, I don't.
Pretty much.
If we're just doing things to do things, then let's just do things to do things.
Yeah.
If we want to take it to the next level, which is called acquaintance / friendship, sure.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I get that.
Like I remember one time. Sorry about this, but right? I got brought on to help film his music video. So it's a date back in April 2021. Obviously, I met him before I worked with him and stuff like that. We did the whole day outside Winnipeg. I think West St. Paul. But anyway. We did that, and then I didn't get to work with him until last year, April, on Millburn, and he was doing set deck for that. He greeted me, I think, where were we? We were in Pembina on the first day at the police station in Pembina, and he greeted me. And I remember his face, but I'm like, for the life of me, I could not remember his name. So I'm like, I was trying to like hear people talk to him. No one mentions names. And then I realized, I'm like, oh wait, I have a call sheet with me. Look at it.
Kick yourself in the butt.
Yeah, and every time it happens, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna pull out the call sheet. Because the thing is, big movie sets like tier C, tier A, got like hundreds of people on set every day, right? Every day. So if it's a smaller set like tier E, tier F, whatever, we got like 30, 40 people on set. So it's much easier for you to remember. And the thing is, accounting, you'll almost never see them on set because they're at the office. So all that's left is like the heads, producers, directors, DPs, all that kind of stuff. And then it's the people that's on set, so like where you're filming, and then people who are outside, right? So like crafty and stuff like that. And at some point during the day, you'll get to meet these people, talk with these people, and that way it's so much easier for you to learn your name, because again you have all this time to like have an actual conversation on a bigger scale with like 130, 140 people. You're not gonna remember.
There's no way.
But I try to make it.
You wild, bro.
I try to. It's like, what? Like it's crazy because I didn't come to that point until a transport guy picked me up from our parking lot to set, and he remembered my name. I'm like, yo, like I don't know your name. I forgot your name. But you actually know me. I'm like, what the fuck? And he knows my department and everything. I'm like, bro, okay, like, you know what? From this day forward, I'm going to try to remember everyone's name.
You know me, bro. You know me.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, it was just like a turning point for me. I'm like, damn, someone actually knows me. That's cool.
I know the feeling, though, because I always, like, in malls, right? You don't know who's going to be at the mall. All the time, there's people coming up to me like, yo, what's up, Christian? And then I look, I'm like, oh, what's up, bro? I've known them for 10 years. And I'm like, how's it going? And then I'm in the back of my head, I'm like, what's the name? Like, I've known you for so long. And then eventually I'm just like, okay, I remember. But yeah, if you don't see people, I don't know if that's just an us thing or maybe it's generalized. Like, I think it's a popular problem, maybe. And we don't know it.
Or I think it's a Gen Z or I don't know. Cause like, think about it. Like my grandma, she has Facebooks, but she only uses Messenger. Yeah. But she remembers all our birthdays. I'm like, that's crazy.
I literally need Facebook calendar to tell me.
But I'm like, damn, like she never forgets. Like, my birthday, and obviously it would be a day early in Philippines, but she would like send me a text message. Oh. And she would know my numbers though. I'm like, damn, like, oh, that's a surprise.
Shout out to her grandma.
Yeah, I think it's a millennial thing. We're just forgetful. It sucks.
I'm mind blown now. I thought we could make this more empathetic and more sympathetic, so like we can just be like, oh yeah, it's a big problem. Damn it.
It could be us, but I'm just saying. It's some millennial thing.
I think so.
I'm going to generalize it.
But I think the problem is that as people of freelance or entrepreneur or business work, we meet too many people at one time.
We do, honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I met Tommy, there was like 50 people there, and I had no idea who they were.
There you go.
And the only person that I remember is Tommy and Omar. Literally.
It's funny. It's the first time I talk to people and I get their number or contact or something like that.
Damn, you
I
cool,
would
bro.
put them as like say your name, and then I'm gonna categorize it as something I know you for. So I'd say the Tamiya group, I would say Patrick and then Tamiya. So just so I know, or like Roy, Tamiya. And then they would add me on Facebook. I'm like, oh, that's your last name. Okay, cool.
There you go. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
We should use that. That's good psychology. I like that.
Pretty interesting stuff. Film sets. I feel like I've seen it all.
I'm pretty sure.
It's such a funny
Some
industry,
person stealing your
culture,
job,
or-
them meeting someone and falling in love, them
oh man,
hanging out all
Too
the
many.
time, and then
seen too many of those.
We call that set flings.
Hey,
Yeah.
is that a thing?
Set flings, yeah.
Actually, that's the thing.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Mm.
Shout out to the grips.
Yo!
I swear the grips are making all the moves and the electrics.
On who?
I don't know, on the costume and makeup.
Yes.
It's always costume and makeup. And then maybe set tech people.
It's always costume.
Maybe.
I respect the hustle, but like, yo, chill.
Is that common?
I wouldn't say it's common, but it's like
it
if
just
you
became a thing.
if
Like,
you work
wow.
long enough, you'll notice.
Yeah.
You'll notice who talks to who more.
You guys have set things?
Not often.
Not often.
Not
No. You quick with it, bro. You've been hiding this all along.
You know what I mean? Like when you like something, just go for it.
You do?
That's how I see it.
I don't.
What are the choosing signals on set?
The what?
What choosing signals for a set fling?
Oh.
If they're like playing with their call sheet.
Oh my.
No, it's usually whoever sits together during lunch.
Oh.
That's what I noticed. The thing I see is that lighting guys, they almost always stick together in the same table. Almost always.
Oh.
Like 100%.
Can't
Grips, same thing. So if one grip is missing, you know. You'll find him at the costumes or hair and makeup. Usually.
Damn, that's where I need to be. How do we get this set fling?
be a background performer.
Oh.
There you go.
I mean, you were.
I was
on
an
YouTube,
extra
man.
on, yeah. I was an
Exactly.
extra on your
There you go.
set. Please release your movie. Chocolate milk. Thank you for giving me lines. I was actually so happy that day.
That's so funny.
I snapped these guys. I'm like, yo, I got lines for being an extra. Yo, congrats. It wasn't much lines, but it was great.
If it ever comes out, it will come out. I'm putting it in the universe. It will come out.
My acting skills
For
were
festivals,
like,
bro.
the best at the time.
Well, this is a good break to talk about our sponsor.
Yes.
Who's our sponsor this time? Short form. Do you hate reading books? Well, short form is a great way to shorten a book so you can just read just the important bullet points that you want to learn from the book. If you use our coupon code Criswalkz Realtalkz, you get 10% off your first subscription. Again, that's shortforms.com/Criswalkz Realtalkz with a Z.
Damn. No scripts. It wasn't even reading
Is this
anything.
legit, bro?
No. Well, we'll have
It's
to talk,
almost like
we'll have to talk to our manager
Yeah.
later, but
Did we just get an email randomly that I don't know, bro?
spam.
Yeah. Are you my emails?
this episode is brought to you by Athletic Greens. I'm pretty sure you're not having enough greens in your diet every day, which is why
Where did you see this?
I don't see it. It's just in my head.
Oh no, that'd be good, bro.
Ironically,
Wow.
I practice these sponsorships, but now I just know them like Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah.
One of the greatest mobile MMORPG games that you can play to this date.
That's
If you use my coupon code Tommy10, you get 40,000 gold that you can use and a free epic champion.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's good. That's really good.
Round of applause for Tommy, you guys. That's crazy.
That's legit. This actor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yo, shout out to season 2 Bleach,
Yeah.
1000 Year Blood War. It's out.
It's out already?
Well, the first 2 episodes are out now,
That's what I
and the
thought.
third one came out Monday.
I'm waiting for it to finish. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's also on Disney Plus.
Yeah, for
What?
the Canadians, it's on
What?
Disney
What?
Plus. For the Americans,
So
it's
surprised.
I don't know.
I saw I was at the cabin. I'm like, oh, Bleach. What?
Damn.
Is anime right now?
After 9 years, yeah.
Yeah, finally.
Crazy, right?
Dying.
They came back. And on the third day, they rose from the dead.
Nice.
I heard y'all got trash anime. Let me come back.
Literally. Literally.
Just kidding.
You guys know Naruto's coming back too? What?
Yeah, Naruto's going back.
What?
Yeah. Boruto's taking a shitter.
No.
Or what are they gonna do? Reanimate the whole Naruto series?
I don't know,
I don't
actually.
know.
That'd
I
be
have
dope,
no idea,
though.
actually.
That would be cool.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like
It's a lot of work,
oh,
but
yeah. They might make it an action film, though.
oh, like
I didn't
live
know that.
action?
I didn't know that.
It could be like One Piece, right?
Tough. That's tough.
But there's a problem.
Ugh.
Most live action films, I don't know what I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Oh.
producers or directors don't understand how to implement the feelings of
Yeah.
how we watch anime and,
Yes.
and how we would imagine it to interpret it in a real life situation.
Correct.
And many directors have tried different approaches to make that happen. And so far, most of them have tanked.
Failed.
So
Miserable.
I wonder, like, if it's mainly the executives that are making these poor decisions, because it's usually not the director's fault. It's usually whoever's above the director that makes it an issue. Because the director may have this amazing vision, but if the producer's like, nah, dog, I want it like this. The studio says we want it like this. Then boom, it tanks.
Damn studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it usually is. Problem, I think, is they always say the cinematic point of view, which is great, but at the same time, it kind of loses the essence of like what the anime is really all
That's
about.
right. That's
You know what I
right.
mean? Like, for example, Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I hated that live action.
I'm like,
hated
I
that
love
live
that
action.
series.
Yeah.
Growing up, and then they put that live action. I'm like,
It botched it so
yeah,
hard.
yeah.
I know. I love Ghost in the Shell. Like growing up, the anime and everything.
Mhm.
Movie came out.
Yeah.
Nope. Get that out of my face.
All these new ones, like for example, I'm gonna make a sample out of it. Chainsaw Man. You know that intro is like cinematic.
Yes.
Everything. You know?
Everything.
You see Pulp Fiction.
Perfect.
All these just extras that you see. I'm like, man, this is so amazing, and that's why I love that show so much.
Yeah.
And I don't really watch the new animes. I know you do,
Mm-hmm.
but I pick and choose because I cannot just sit here and then commit to
A wasted day, yeah.
exactly.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, so I can't. So I'm like, I have to like it. Otherwise, I'll just fall back. Because
Nah, I
it
understand.
was the same thing for Haikyuu. I didn't most animes anyway. I don't see it at a cinematic point of view, but then Haikyuu did. I'm like, wow, this
Yes,
this is
Haikyuu was
amazing.
really good.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Because before that, I was only watching Naruto. I was rewatching a lot of animes too, right? From like 90s, early 2000s maybe. And then, Haikyuu was introduced to me, like on Twitter. I just fell in love back to like anime again. I'm like,
The way they
this
portray
awesome.
like the sports,
Yeah.
like angles.
like I love volleyball as a sport. And then they do this. And as I read more on it, like the manga, and then on Reddit too, right? Someone actually asked, like, is Haikyuu the volleyball actually like this in real life? I'm like, at some point it does, but it shows you perspectives that you don't normally see. Right?
That's
I'm
right.
like, that which is why it's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree with you. Cause like I play volleyball too, and when I watched that, it wasn't exactly what volleyball would have been, but it's a different perspective, like an angle, like you said.
Like they make it so much more interesting. For example, I know my brother watched the tennis one. Have you seen that one?
Prince of Tennis.
Yeah, Prince of
Yeah,
Tennis.
that one's so good.
And before that, like back in high school, I used to watch I Shield. Yeah. So I'm like, these are like, the essence of anime that I guess you don't really see as much anymore.
They're not mainstream.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
But they made anime back in the day.
Yeah.
They were our peak anime that is right now, right? Like peak anime in history is right now, but our peak anime because we were going through it
Yes.
were those because that's all we had.
For example, Shaman King.
Yes.
Like, I know Netflix revived it, but man, if you see the old one,
So much better.
So much.
Sailor Moon too. The original Sailor Moon's so much better than the
I haven't
remake.
even seen the new one.
Yeah, don't. It's not that great.
I don't know, even Goku or Dragon Ball, sorry. I definitely see a difference. I'm like, it's just so much different.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that vibe anymore. But it's not just me growing up, but it's like they don't make them like they used to, and that's kind of the sad part, really.
Yeah.
Even in films too, like Matrix, for example. I've seen it I think last year when it
The
came
new
out.
one
Yeah,
with the sisters.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
the sisters, but the
Yeah.
director's sisters.
Yes, yes. Yeah, like it felt rushed on a lot of things. What could have happened for me anyway, or me and my friend Kyle talked about it after watching the movie, is that they could have split into two parts. First part would have been getting him back on the Matrix world, right? And then second part would be rescue. That would have made sense.
Yeah.
But they had to fill all of that into a whole movie. It just fell off,
There was
Like
a
they had a lot
Matrix?
of great moments.
This is the new Matrix?
Yeah, what was it called? Matrix.
Reloaded? I can't remember.
Start with the R. But
Yeah.
I did not know
No,
that.
not Reloaded. Sorry.
I only know
Reloaded's the old
the
one.
original Matrix.
Oh, the trilogy?
Yeah, that's it.
Story made sense. It's just again, it was all packed in the same. It was all packed in one movie.
Oh.
And you'll feel it rushed.
Yeah, okay. That's like.
Because I love the first part, all the way to the part where they bring him to the Matrix. Right? The second half just kind of like again they're trying to pack everything.
Into one.
Yeah.
All 3 movies into
Yeah.
one.
Whereas I've only seen 2-3 movies that did this year again so far. Fast X, Across the Spider-Verse, same thing, but instead of having it all in one movie, they split it. The worst part, worse than splitting it, is that it ends in a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Especially Spider-Man.
like you build it up and then you're just gonna end it like right there. I'm
Yeah.
like, at least have the audacity to finish the
That
film. You
first-
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
That first bit.
yeah, don't just end it to the best part. You're like, in a movie perspective, you just end it on the climax. That's how it is. Or right before climax starts. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry guys.
Like
Tune
I
in
left
next
I
week.
left I left the theater so disappointed. I'm like, oh, now I have to wait 5 years?
That was Fast X or Spider-Man? Or
Both.
Yeah, I watched Spider-Man. I haven't watched Fast.
Good movies, don't get me wrong. Especially Across the Spider-Verse, but
I
at the
love
same
that
time
one.
it's
That one
just
was good.
Fast X, I mean, you know what you came for.
Thanos.
It's for me, exactly. For me, it's just like turning my brain off, and it's a that movie installment. I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Because they're so good at connecting the dots.
Always.
Right? Like when Han died.
Yes.
Like
What?
we've been waiting.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Spoiler.
Sorry. Spoiler alert. But we've been waiting how
When
long
he comes
for them
back.
to connect it.
Big
Right?
spoiler.
And then there's more spoilers, obviously, but I'm not gonna spoil it.
And then he dies again. I'm just joking.
We've been waiting from Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tokyo Drift all the way to what? I thought they were gonna do it on the 5th. So it's all the way to the 7th, right? 7th. And he didn't come out until the 9th, the last before this one. So again, they're great connecting the dots. They're great at creating stories. Whether it's good storytelling, that's up to you to decide.
And you can do anything in showbiz.
If you've been so committed, so invested in that kind of series, you just have to watch it. And for me, like maybe a little bit for the enjoyment of it, but at the same time, it's just like I just want to see.
Yeah. You just wanna
Start
see
off
how
my
it's gonna
brain
go,
for a sec, and then and yeah, like, I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it. Not the greatest, but I enjoyed it. Shout out to great actor Jason Momoa. Great actor.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love his character.
Yeah.
And
You know how crazy it's gonna be though? In a couple of years when you're just gonna have Apple glasses and you can actually do that from your fingertips.
Yeah.
I think it's insane.
Oh man, I'm very
I've seen the
curious.
guy with the I don't know what you call it. It's like almost a helmet, but
Nerve
usually
gear.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
usually someone asks him a question, and then he just thought of it, and then the computer thought of the answer, and then it's on the screen. I'm like,
Whoa.
like again, AI man, so
Play
crazy.
Overwatch. Starts it. Yes.
It's crazy.
It's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen.
All part of that VR world too,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
It's almost leading to that, which is insane because VR has been around for
Decades.
years. Maybe has it been a decade?
Probably.
I think prototypes like early 2010,
Xbox
Oh.
360.
Xbox 360 era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
when he had the 360 cam, which was like literally 3 cameras in the front. It made no sense, but whatever.
Oh, the Kinect.
And the Kinect.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Didn't we have one?
We had one too.
Yeah.
But that was like more prototype, so it wasn't.
But the thing is, they weren't even the first one to start that. It was
No.
PlayStation.
Yeah, it was PlayStation.
PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
iToy? Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
iToy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
The
got
it.
little
Enjoyable.
ball.
Yeah. I was like, what is this?
They're vintage now.
They are.
Collectibles.
I don't think PlayStation even has their own VR headset.
They do actually.
do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They have a separate games library for just VR. Because there's one that you buy with the actual console. PS4 anyway. I'm not sure about that.
PS5 they have one, I think.
Oh, they do.
Like
Okay.
a package for a VR package. Shout out to Corridor Digital on YouTube. I feel like out of all the filmmakers I know, I feel like they portray live action anime the best.
Yeah. Oh man,
Hands
Corridor.
down.
That's a
Hands
classic
down.
right there.
And they're still going at it.
I'm gonna use the washroom, so Tommy's gonna take over.
Okay, this is my podcast now. I'm gonna call it Tommy Talks.
Hey.
What does Winnipeg offer that other cities cannot, or vice versa?
The problem with Winnipeg is it's also great at the same time because it's starting. But if you're already in the industry, you'll realize one way or another that there's not a lot of opportunities for you here. In the industry, especially, if you don't know someone in the industry, it's hard to get into it. Usually, the proper way to do it is take the courses, required courses, and then you put yourself on the waiting list. And then when they need someone, they'll call you. That'll be the proper way. That's what I did when I was starting. You know, I signed up on 2018, summer 2018, and then I get email, I get call on 2020. So that would be step one. But I think people nowadays, they get in because they know someone, and then those people who was already working, they would be like the head of the department would be like, oh, we need a person tomorrow, we need a person for this, and they'll just be like, hey, we need someone, you want to come in, blah blah blah, and they're not going through the proper way other people did, and I feel like that's a problem in itself. Like for me, when I got into the camera training program, it was different because I applied twice before I even got on it. Like I applied back in 2019 for that one. I didn't get in, and then I applied again 2021 for Calgary. I didn't get in as well because they chose to go with locals. They were gonna have Vancouver. Originally, they were gonna skip Winnipeg. So I was gonna go for Vancouver, and I was gonna ask if, let's say, I have relatives there, and I'm gonna live with them. Would I be able to apply and then possibly get in, right? But then, thankfully, they had a Winnipeg that summer. It was like almost last minute, a few weeks maybe. So I applied for that. Finally, I made it. So again, that's one of those things. But other people, they get in because they needed people. So there's a difference because now you're coming in not knowing anything. Obviously, you're gonna get trained, but it would have been better if you knew a few things before you got in. That makes sense. It's been like, we need someone, and then they just bring person because they knew someone knows that person somehow. It's not like, oh, we have to go through the union first, see if you're available, or see if you're good to go, and then that would be how it usually would supposed to work. Sadly, no, it's more like, oh, we need people, and then they just do the training after, which kind of sucks in a way, but it is how it is. Again, after all, Winnipeg it's just starting to be big. Same with Alberta in general, whereas Vancouver, Toronto, these guys are like already top of the game. Everyone's well trained, obviously, hoping. But yeah, like us, we're just getting there. We're not even getting tier 1 movies yet, TV series. We're still on tier D, tier C, on consecutively. So imagine if once we start getting all these big tickets, big movies, Hollywood blockbuster,
Which would be
it's
nice.
gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Like, so yeah, it's great. Like where Winnipeg is at now compared to like before when we were only getting tier Fs, tier Es. Like for example, Wrong Turns. Those kind of movies. Selkirk Asylum.
I love Wrong Turn. The best worst movie. The best worst scary movie.
Compared to those, or we're still getting Hallmark still in there, or it's never gonna. I don't think it's gonna go away anytime soon. But at the same time, it's just
Demand is too high for Hallmark to stop.
There's a certain niche to it, and it's great. It's great for that.
Context.
Hopefully, we start getting more big budget films.
Context, we were talking about Winnipeg opportunities versus like other cities. Like, what do we have that they don't, or vice versa?
I can't comment on that, so I don't really know. Sorry. But yeah, Daryl's insight's probably the best because work-wise, for like gigs, business work, Vancouver, Toronto, definitely you'll get paid more. But opportunity-wise, I'm pretty sure
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just more so who do you know, right?
it's always gonna be the case.
That's the gist of it.
Who do you blow?
Ooh.
Well, from my perspective, from the Winnipeg opportunities, just to add on to it, from a union's perspective, obviously they want to go through permittees, then the members are first,
Mhm.
then the members are first, then the permittees if there's no more members. But there is that loophole where if you know someone, they'll just call you in instead of going through the union to call you.
Yeah.
Because the union takes a while.
Yeah.
So it's just easier for the head of department to be like, hey, I want this guy. I want him in. Okay, cool. But now they're being more strict about that. It's like, no, we can't call you in. You have to go through the union.
Yeah.
And I've had that conversation with a couple head of departments. Actually, a few weeks ago, I was talking to a best boy grip, and he was talking about how there's a shortage of grip guys, but through the union, he's not getting much luck. He's trying to go through his contacts first, but the union, they're like, no, you need to go through us first. We'll contact the people. But yeah, it's a bit of a struggle on that sense to get work unless you know someone.
Yeah, I mean, also you have to understand that for example, for us, it's 856 for lighting, grip, sound, all those people. Most of the department anyway. It's only one person, one or two person giving all these opportunities or asking people who's available or if they need someone, right? So imagine one person going through all that waiting list. So
Yeah.
you have to understand it at that point, but at the same time, there's gotta be more, more opportunities out there.
Like they have a go-to, and if
Yes.
the go-to isn't there,
But like for example, camera-wise, it's the usually who gets hired first is DP, and then DP will.
Hey.
I wish, and then DP will start hiring who he likes working better as a first AC. So camera assistant,
yes.
focus puller, and then that person is the one that's going to be hiring all the other little people on the team, right? And that's the sad part for other people, for most people who are trying to get in. But at the same time, that guy is going to want the people he wants to work with, right? He likes working with.
Yeah.
It's hierarchy.
Yes.
Is what it is.
Yep.
Same thing with grips. People key grips. Those guys like working with the same crew. It's almost every after movie you'll see the same people. Just watch the credits on films, Winnipeg films. You'll almost see if say this person's working, which is like either the key grip or grapher or first AC. It's almost the same people. You'll realize it, and that's how it is. Like people like working with teams and that's just I call it the Winnipeg. It's so small, but that's what it is. Like Winnipeg making their own teams. Like so.
Isn't that normal for like any other city? Once you find a good team, you stick with that team.
I can't speak for other cities, but I feel like I've only seen that on Winnipeg. I know a few people from Toronto that goes here, and they said it's never like that.
Huh.
It's usually who's available. Because again, remember Toronto
I
is
guess they're more
67.
busier, right?
And then Manitoba
So
or the
people-
western part of Canada is 669. Manitoba, Vancouver could be different, or BC in general. I noticed in Winnipeg, it's like that. Like the city is so small, but there's so many of these.
Yeah, so my question is, why does everyone that goes to Vancouver School Film Festival always come back to Winnipeg?
Well,
I just want to know. I'm just curious. That's all.
that's a great question. Based on who I've met so far, who have gone to Vancouver Film
VFS,
School,
yeah.
VFS, yeah. They do end up coming back here. I know 3 people personally who have done that.
Like, why?
But yeah, here's the real question: why? Like,
Yeah.
you would have thought that VFS would have given you opportunities out in Vancouver to work because you went under VFS, but that's not the case because most of these folks I've talked to, they have come back to Winnipeg. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you would assume if you're in Vancouver Film School, they would give you the connections to work in Vancouver and not to come back.
Yeah.
So there's 2 plausibilities here, which is there isn't enough opportunities for someone who went through VFS in Vancouver.
That makes sense, though.
Or maybe there's more opportunities in Winnipeg because they had more connections here versus Vancouver, and maybe it's a harder market to get into. I don't know. The patterns is someone goes to VFS and then they come back to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
Is it the rent? Is it the lack of jobs? It's most likely rent.
It's definitely going to be rent for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of your paycheck.
I think I can see both ways. First reason is rent and them not knowing a lot of people there. Like trying to get into a market, cold market at least. That where they don't know anyone.
That's
right?
tough, cold.
So that's so tough.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't know anyone.
Don't know anybody.
And the people you know are also probably don't know anyone,
Yeah.
right? That's one way to put it, and that's probably why they go back. The other way I see it is because I know someone who went back, but he works here as an editor now on a bigger firm.
Yep.
It's not union,
Yeah.
but he got a really decent job. I feel like to become an editor in Vancouver, probably have to start at the very bottom, where he is like on top of things already.
I think it's easier to get to the hierarchies here in Winnipeg
Exactly. Oh, yeah,
than
for sure.
other cities
Hands
because
down.
there's
Oh,
higher
yeah.
competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Here it's like, oh, you want to be head of department? Sure.
Yeah.
Here's do a few months, you're good to go.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, whereas other cities is like a dog eat dog world, right?
Yeah, like
Like,
VFS,
that's how it
okay, back at the bottom. Whereas here, oh, VFS, cool.
Oh, I'll
okay.
take you.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's really that. I feel like because Toronto, Vancouver has been in the game for so long
Yeah.
that you're literally, even if you're starting, you start at the very bottom. Whereas in Winnipeg, we're just starting, and now they're wanting like more experienced people. It's like as if you have certain experience, or went to this certain school, it's like you're top to ladder already.
There are bigger opportunities to grow here in Winnipeg.
Absolutely.
Like to grow fast, I would say, in
Yes.
whichever department you choose to work in. But then when it comes to getting more gigs, higher paying gigs, that's when you have to
outsource.
move out. And that's why you have to market yourself really well.
Mhm.
Because it's like, you may be from Winnipeg, but you have all these skills.
Yeah.
Like, the quick little story, when I was in LA, I was talking to a lot of people there. There are various people from like a Disney animator to an Emmy nominated editor, TV editor to like
This is the first time we're hearing this, by the way. He never told us the story when we were meeting together.
an Oscar winner for music, I think. Like, I met all these people, and all of them, they were surprised with how much I knew. And I was like, oh, I don't know, I just learned. I'm in Winnipeg. I don't know, maybe it's that small town mindset that we all grow up to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then when you go somewhere bigger and people notice how much you know, it's like, oh, wow, I actually provide value and people acknowledge that, and that's cool.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. That's crazy though.
No, absolutely. Whereas here, and I've experienced this firsthand, it was me wanting to learn about how to use gear, not the gear per se, but like wanting to learn how to properly use them. When I met someone who's like in the industry already, and then I mentioned because I usually of them, because I saw they had like the redheads, the arteries and stuff like that.
Yep.
Like, oh, a redhead, like I have one at home. And then he asked me like, oh, why do you have a redhead? And I'm like, obviously, I was like, I filmed something. I filmed on the side.
Filmmaker, hello.
Oh my! It was like so underwhelming.
Nobody just gets a red.
The way he asked me, I'm like, okay.
Nobody just gets a red.
I would say he didn't mean it. He probably didn't mean it that way, but that's the way he came on. I'm like, damn, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, again, it's that Winnipeg small
Town mindset. Actually, quick fun fact, in case you didn't know this, I feel like you guys do already, but in other cities, people don't wave when they let you in the lane.
That's right.
Yeah. If anything, they think you're flipping them off.
That's right.
Here in Winnipeg, it's
normal.
nice. It's common
Yeah.
courtesy. It's like, oh, thanks for letting me in the lane.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in other cities, it's like, no, they don't do that.
No, they don't. You either get it or you don't.
Small town mindset?
Yeah, and there's some good things, bad things. But you can't have them all. Like,
It was crazy though. I was talking to a few of my friends in Vancouver, and they're asking me about financial literacy, right?
mm-hmm.
So they saw my courses that I had for sale and whatever. They ran by me their financials, living in Vancouver, how much debt they were in, but how much they were making per year. Pretty much borderline broke, right? So
Yeah.
130K a year, they had 130. Right. So I'm not gonna put their names or anything, but
course.
yeah. So they came to me and I helped them out with like how to strategize and put it all together. But the funny part is that I asked them like, do you guys have anybody out there that teaches you financial literacy? And they're like, no. Vancouver or BC doesn't have people that do this. So if you bring up the term financial literacy in their city, it's not really common. They're like, no. I'm like, you know how common it is in Winnipeg? Everyone talks about it all the time. That blows my mind. I'm like, wow, so we're more my financial literate over here in Winnipeg, a smaller city, and people are living in Vancouver, paycheck to paycheck, that don't even know about it.
It kind of makes sense because rich get richer.
Yeah.
So they're probably just keeping it.
They're keeping it to
for the
themselves.
most part.
Hands down.
It makes sense, right? Like someone who lives Richmond, for example. You know, they're probably not gonna talk about.
Nope.
Oh, how we made this money, what we do, stuff like that.
They never
Right?
do.
So exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, think about it. Whereas in Winnipeg, everyone's just trying to make it big.
Yeah.
It's only a certain few people who share how they made it big.
Yeah.
Or
And it really depends on how their attitude is about like financial,
Yeah.
like making it big in Winnipeg. Most of them are a lot of assholes, right? You know
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
But the genuine ones are out there for you and they want to be by your
Yes.
side.
Yes.
So that's what you want to look for, okay, guys?
I think everywhere it's like that. Everywhere. I've tried everything, like MLM. Oh my goodness, that's where it started.
I tried that too.
So many
I think it was-
companies.
I think it was Prime America first, and then it was
WFG.
WFG, and then
I
there
did
was
Forever Living for a bit.
I don't know what
I
that is.
did Seacrest.
Yes, I remember that.
Seacrest?
Seacrest.
Seacrest,
Yeah,
right?
the one at Polo Park where they're like, try my lotion.
Yes.
I'm like, no.
Yes.
I'm
Is it
good.
Seacrest? I can't remember. Anyway, Secret. Yes,
Like
Secret.
Steve
Sorry.
and the crit. Yeah.
Yes.
Do them with them guys unless you're really
Yeah,
wanting
that's
to.
all it. That's,
Yeah.
that's all it is for me.
Yeah, like if you really have your head mindset on MLM, find by.
Like, you know, it works, but the
Yep.
problem with those is that if you're not at the top, you probably won't be
there
getting
for a
much.
while.
So
yeah,
if you're gonna get in MLM, you have to start
before
while it's fresh.
Yeah.
You know,
you have to get
not-
in first.
Yes.
And
If
do
you're
it
not
yourself.
first, you're last.
Crazy though, like how business is over here. It's wild.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like everyone that recruited me for MLMs, they're not even in those businesses anymore.
Yeah.
And they're coming
I
to
know.
me for day trading and crypto and investments. I'm like, yo,
Funny how that works,
You're
huh?
the one that recruited me. I'm like,
Yeah.
Wait, don't you have a degree in this?
yeah, exactly. Like, what? What do you mean? I know you did though, like a couple of like you did a couple students came to you to ask about the industry.
Yeah.
So like, would you mind sharing how that worked and stuff? Was that HB Start or no?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
The first one I got, this was early pandemic. You know, like everyone was at home. Probably people want to learn, right? And that's where I started getting inquiries like, hey, do you do this? Do this. So I did some private mentoring for them. I didn't charge them at the time because pandemic, we were all not making money. So I understood. It's just, you know, just the basics, you know, told them like, learn this, basically composition, you know, ways
Yeah.
of seeing. You start learning these before you even think of what camera to use. So just told them like what the camera they have now. They're like, oh, just my phone. I'm like, okay. Open your settings, you know, add these, which is basically rule of thirds. So what these rule of thirds is, that's your composition right there. That's one composition, right? So all these lines where they intersect, that could be your focal point. So let's say an eye, or you know, like taking a photo of a glass or a bottle. You know, like you put the bottle on those lines where they intersect, and that could be an interesting focal point.
Yeah.
Right. So and then I just told them like there's way more other compositions. And other than that, it's just pretty much if they really want to learn, they'll do it. If not, you'll find an excuse, right? So I'm like, yeah, again, it's up to you. Just ask me if you have any other questions. Some came back, some didn't. And then Maribeth Tabanera actually introduced me to her students at the med school, Maples
Oh,
Med, and
Med,
Seven Oaks,
yes.
Seven Oaks Med School as well. She had the high school students, and yeah, she introduced me to them. I did my very first mentoring back in, I think, 2020 as well, October. And it was funny because I saw Lambert there.
Oh no!
And this
way.
guy is supposed to be in LA.
Yeah.
Like, I sent him my goodbyes back in late August, I think. And I get there October. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like facing behind me.
What year was this? 2019?
No, 2020. Like, pandemic already.
Yeah, he was supposed. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
it's
in
2020.
LA.
I'm like, he's supposed to be in LA. And I can, like he's facing behind me, but I can totally see it's him.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fuck is this guy
You
doing?
can hear
It's
his,
so
you can
funny.
hear his like.
Yeah, he was
voice,
talking, right? He was
Yeah.
mentoring someone too. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, that's crazy. We need to get him on the podcast now. Show
But
us out there.
anyway, that was my very first one. At the time, I guess no one was really interested on photography yet.
Yeah.
These were like, mind you, these were like probably graphic design student or people who knows a little bit about design, wanting to get into it and stuff like that. There were a couple, no, three, two of them really piqued my interest because, well, one of them, I was wearing a tux. I'm like, damn, you're real serious, bro. And then he gave me a resume, and then I think he even had a calling card. I can't remember. He had a calling card.
Did you hire this guy?
I
What
wish. This guy's like what?
He could be our second shooter.
14, I think, at the time.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like really asking about like how to get into the industry. So I'm like, okay, well, first of all, you need to go to ATM, Film Training Manitoba, to get the required courses, whichever you want to take, whether you want to be in lighting or camera, they would provide the courses for you. I even gave him my contact, Adam Smollett, see, know him, to get started, right? Because I cannot tell you what courses you need exactly because I don't know where you want to be. Because right now you're young, like you could your interest could change, few years because you need to be at
It
least
always
18, right?
changes.
Exactly. So right now you could be like, oh yeah, I like camera, and then years down the road, I'm like, oh, you know what, I want to do set deck or audio.
Yeah.
So it could be different. Again, like FTM would be the first step. When you turn, I'm pretty sure 18. That would be the first step, and then after that, it's just entirely up to you. Network as much as you can with people and yeah, I told him again, if you have any questions or if you have any projects, like of your own, because he was doing YouTube too. I'm like, yeah, send me your reels, send me your stuff, and I'll look at it. If you need critique, I'll critique it. And then I did it the following year, and that was the busiest because all my slots were like filled from 8:30 until 4:30.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, like every 15 minutes I had someone. Pretty generalized, like they weren't all cinematography. They were also photography.
Yeah.
Which was interesting to me. I'm so glad that all of these students are wanting to get into like photography as well at a young age. Because like for me, I didn't get into it until I was like 17 maybe. And these were
really?
yeah. These students were like 13, 14 only. Pretty fresh air to like see younger people enjoy photography.
That's so weird because I first picked up my camera when I was in grade 9. So I think, how old are you in grade 9?
I was
15 at that age?
14,
15? Yeah,
yeah.
so that's when I first got exposed to cameras. And my brother was like, take photos at family events or whenever we hang out.
we had like digital cameras
Yeah.
back then, but
And then
But
like
it was different.
I was just keep
it was just
clicking-
point and
yeah.
shoot.
And then that eventually brought me to whatever I do now, right? So it's
Mhm.
weird how that is. I guess it does start at an early age if you're
Yeah.
if you're deeply interested. Yeah,
Especially now, right? Like with all our phones, like
yeah,
doing all
it's so
these
easy
big
now. But
things,
back
it's
then we
so
had digital
easy.
cameras and film.
Exactly. Before it's tough, if I'm sure a lot of us couldn't probably afford it at the time. As
Not
an
for
Asian
now.
household, probably not. It
Nope.
was a necessity.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a very fresh air to see all these, so many young students actually take on photography or even just wanting to learn in general.
yeah, I'll give it up to them. Hands down, they can take it. I'm fine with it.
I want to retire.
Yeah, I've had my fair share.
Exactly. And yeah, it's that mentoring. It's been a yearly thing. Even after that, they had a follow up one for I think early last year, or I think around March. I think it was a Zoom call, and I can remember seeing same faces I had for the previous
Years.
year, and it was the same thing. Like it was Zoom call, but all my slots were taken. But instead of having multiple slots in the day, it was one slot for a whole hour, and they would just ask me questions one by one, whether they wanted to ask it or send in a question. I would answer it for them, right?
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. It was I can't remember how many, but we were around high 20s, maybe 30 exactly. But yeah, that was interesting.
That must have been an experience for you though,
It
mentoring.
was,
Like,
it was great. It was
I don't
great.
feel like you're that type of guy though.
I know. I know.
I was like,
You're
yo.
not that guy.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Like,
but
I was
when
really
you're
proud
from
when
the
you said
spots,
that. I was like, yo,
like, I
actually.
saw it as like training, I guess, learning experience to like speak in front of a.
Yeah, because
Maybe.
before you were like afraid to public speak, and I'm like I was the same way. Like I never public speak like this ever, but you build the skill set, right?
Exactly.
Because you have to.
Yeah.
Not because you want to.
When it comes to it, of course.
Yeah. No, man, I'm proud of you. That's good too. Cheers to that.
Got nothing in here.
Oh, you
Take it.
finished?
Oh,
Oh, was I not
There.
supposed to?
it's all good. We have more.
Am I supposed to look away too? This is part of the culture.
I don't know about Korean culture how that works, but
I think it's the same thing. It's just pouring.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to look away.
There's.
Oh,
Cheers.
Trish. By the way, we're not Korean.
I identify as Korean.
Oh.
Wait, what? Yeah, no, like that's crazy how you did it though. Congrats, that's a big move.
Are you considering any future mentorship? Someone were to DM you if they watch this
Absolutely.
and they're like,
Yeah. No, of course. Oh, of course. I'm always.
Yeah, aren't you thinking about like a master class too?
Yeah. That's been in the works since pandemic. I'd say. We're getting there. We're getting. Feel like we're getting somewhere. So, hopefully. But yeah, I'll do probably like one-on-one mentorship.
yeah.
Here and there. I'll do that. Probably do that.
Plug it in right now.
Yeah, just DM me.
DP
You
at the
know?
DP for $5,000 yearly subscription fee at $1,000. I don't know.
Bitcoin only.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Bitcoin, XRP, whatever it is. No Litecoin. Because
No, yeah.
we both got
If you
scammed.
want to learn basics or just in general filmmaking, photography,
Yeah.
just DM me for
Daryl's
sure.
been in the industry longer than me, so hands out to him. Go buy his course. Buy his videos, the cinematography course, photos, whatever it is, and then buy my financial literacy course.
There you go. Yeah. Mhm.
Hey.
Tommy, do you have a course?
No, but the last course
Basic filmmaking.
Yeah, you did.
Or sorry, the phone.
I did a
Yeah.
smartphone
Yes,
filmmaking
smartphone filmmaking.
class, and that was a 2-day intensive, like going from the basics from beginning to finish
Yes.
with your smartphone filmmaking. It was a lot.
That's a
And
lot. That's a lot of content. That's too much, like in
Well,
one day.
It was 6
Wait,
hours
one
a
or 2
day.
days?
It was 2 days, so it was
Okay,
Saturday,
that's a
Sunday,
good amount.
little breaks because I wanted to teach everything. Like they only had like maybe 15-30 minutes for lunch.
Down.
Fuck them.
Down.
Hey, they got
They
their
paid,
money's,
right?
They
Yeah.
got their money's
They
worth.
paid,
So
they're gonna do the work.
I taught a lot, like pretty much, like what you've learned, but I would just condense it into smartphone form,
Yes.
Yes.
just making it simple. So like simple storytelling, composition, different shots,
Yes.
the settings that you can use, ones that you don't need to use. Like if you have the new iPhone 14, you don't need to use ProRes. Just
Literally.
all you need is 1080p, 30 frames for most of your recording. Most of you aren't filmmakers to begin with.
No.
So just start off with 1080p, 30. You don't need 4K.
Learn the terms.
Yeah.
Learn the terms, it helps. It saves you more
Learn the
space too.
problems.
Yes, I don't have online courses yet. I will look into that, but
We'll find out
nothing.
in the future. Yeah, so look out for Tommy's course in the future, Daryl's course in the future, and I'm pretty sure we're both gonna do workshops for Winnipeg Film Group too. We're working on that
Yeah, one of these things.
for those that are wondering.
They will.
That live in Winnipeg and want to learn about. I think I'm going to be teaching about video photography with finance, and he's going to be teaching about.
Cinematography.
Photography, yeah.
Basic filmmaking, I'd say.
Yeah, so look out for that. How much did you charge for your?
At the
I don't-
time,
I think film group decides that, right?
the film group has rates
Okay.
that they offer you.
Yeah.
So what I got at the time was $600 for the 2 days.
That's like.
I think it was like 100 something for 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
that's about right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
And then including prep time, that's another extra 1 or 2 hours. You get paid for your prep. So
I didn't know that.
Damn, I'll get AI to do it. AI changed the game though. Like it's crazy.
it makes me question myself as a filmmaker now.
It does.
Like, do I want to continue down this path, or like, well, I'm not saying like I'm not gonna stop being a filmmaker because of AI. It's just like
you have
there's
to
so
use it
many,
now.
there's new opportunities that you couldn't reach before,
Mm-hmm.
but that you can reach faster now with AI.
Yeah.
like it helps the process. I don't think it fully replaces it yet.
No.
Or it can. It's just I know it becomes like lazy
Mm-hmm.
at some point, to some extent.
I love it.
But
I'm lazy, that's why.
but yeah, it shouldn't replace what you do.
Yeah.
Technically, like you're still supposed to do the heavy work. It's just making it work for you now.
It's making the job easier, but you still need to do the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Like it's not fully gonna replace you. It's more so gonna add to your value.
I would argue it would add value to business owners and entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
but for the workers,
Oh no.
their jobs are
They're
threatened. Like the cleaning robots,
They're done, man. They're done.
accountants,
Accountants are done.
anything that requires data and like some form of computer work, your job is at risk.
Yep.
And I would say for filmmakers as well, with
Like-
images and videos and audio.
There's a doctor GPT that took over all the doctor jobs.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm just like, yo, what? You literally type in your problem and it figures it out for you. It's
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that against OpenAI's policies though, or is it separate?
This is separate because it's not ChatGPT. It's Doctor GPT.
Well,
It's
isn't-
machine learning.
But isn't it easy
Isn't it
to
open
get?
sourced?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
someone
open
would take that and
Correct.
oh.
Isn't it possible to get false? If say they give you a different, say you have this, and then he tells you it's this, but it's actually not.
Oh, I don't think that's-
I've seen that happen before.
It's
Not
happened
with
to
AI.
me.
Yeah. Oh
It's happened
shit.
through AI. Like sometimes it'll give me some false information, so you should double check your information.
No, but like in general, right?
I don't think this one would just because they made it as a doctor account, so they have to be right.
Or it has to be like super specific, so that it can give you like the best possible.
yeah,
result.
yeah. So like you have to tell it your exact symptoms.
Okay.
And
Because I know doctors fuck up too. I know
Yeah.
someone.
the
Yeah.
biggest
Who got-
world
It's
error
happened.
is doctor
Yeah.
errors.
It's
That's the biggest error in the world.
Like-
in healthcare.
My buddy, this is like late high school. He got diagnosed with tuberculosis,
Right.
but it wasn't tuberculosis. It was something else. So they had to pretty much rewire his brain how to
test,
how to walk again, because again, like they found scratches on his brain,
Yeah.
right? So they had to he had to go to rehab, rewire, help him be able to like walk again.
Yes.
Just do the normal routine, right? That's how bad it was, but it wasn't tuberculosis.
Yeah.
It was misdiagnosed.
Yeah,
Misdiagnosis.
Human error, like
So,
yeah, it's
again,
huge.
What are the chances, right? Like to
It's pretty
to put
common.
all
though,
your-
like, it's pretty common.
I mean, I can
Especially-
understand
especially
that,
doing
like-
surgery. Oh man, I would never do surgery because I
I
know
can
the
understand.
percent rate. I know the percent rate of human error is high. Me, as a mechanic, I make mistakes all the time, but
at least
I
it's a
work-
car.
Yeah, it's a car. I can actually whatever. I flipped it the wrong way. Okay, whatever. But as a person, you're working on a person. You flip that the wrong way. They
or you
they-
put something the wrong way.
Yeah,
you know?
the wrong vein in the right vein.
Yeah.
You can't
Or
fix
you
that
cut
right
the
away.
wrong one.
Yeah, or you cut too short, too far. You can't fix that.
Private healthcare, but most Canadians can't afford that.
No, you can't. We like our free
Sadly.
healthcare. Unfortunately.
That's the thing though, like there's a huge list of all these jobs that are replaceable. But the thing is, I think one of them, I've been thinking about it for so long, one of them would be mechanics. I don't think they're gonna be losing their jobs anytime soon.
No.
No.
Yeah, right?
No.
Like unless you build robot arms that can like literally fix these, but it's hard. You need human hands.
That is
to,
quite
like, really-
precise.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because mechanics, like, in order for a robot to do that, it has to be ran by cameras. There's
Mhm.
no way that it can't.
Mhm.
Because every vehicle that comes in for mechanical work is all different vehicles.
Yes. At the same time, say we have robotic arms now, there's still gonna be a person behind that operating everything.
Yeah.
So might as well use your hands.
Literally, yeah.
So I don't think they'll be.
I feel like it's more expensive than.
Yeah. Maybe,
yeah,
possibly.
The investment for like robotics and mechanical world is so much more expensive than having human labor.
Because think about it, other robotic arms, it's just one arm,
Mhm.
and then no fingers, right? Because
No
you
fingers.
don't need it.
No.
It's just like a point or whatever. Whereas you need all hands.
Yeah, you do.
All hands on deck for, working on cars.
Yeah.
In general.
It won't be actual mechanical work. It'll be like electrician
Yeah.
/ you need a little bit of mechanical.
Especially if the government's trying to push everyone to
Yes.
buy electric vehicles in
I'm
at
leaving.
least It's the next decade, I believe.
The agenda.
I'm leaving this podcast. Fuck that. I love my cars too much.
Someone buy his Evo.
Someone buy me 100K.
I don't know though. It's crazy how much these cars have prices have gone up. But
Yeah.
again, if you'll let me choose whether to get electric vehicle or older car, I'll still choose older car.
Hands down.
I still want my S14.
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah. Anything from the 90s was hella reliable. And they're
Anything-
still on the road today.
Skyline?
90s,
Yes,
2000s.
please.
Yeah. They're still on the road.
And then companies
The less
realize,
computer I have on my car, the better.
Yeah.
Can't hack it.
yeah, you can't hack my stick. My stick shifts.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like when I roll around my BMW, I think about like how easily this can be hacked into, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I've seen videos.
One programmable key fob and
Yep.
Yeah.
easy in. That's why I always put the club.
Like I've seen, like when people go in your car and there's no break-in.
Yeah.
It's because of the programmable fob.
Yeah.
And what I've been doing lately is instead of using the fob, someone could be nearby, because I think they have to be nearby.
They have to
for
be
them-
nearby,
for
yeah.
them to program it. So I've been pressing the actual power lock just to they're probably not gonna be able to program that, but if they've been inside the car, then they probably I don't know.
It's more so the new cars that are like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
fresh
think so too.
2015 to
Mhm.
now. Yeah. But before you would
Before,
literally just break through the window.
Car thefts that happen in Winnipeg, right? Like I haven't heard anything about people using like an iPad to get a programmable fob to get in. At least
It's a
yeah.
thing. We know why I know it's a thing.
It's expensive.
Because at one point, I can't remember which, I think it was 2016 or 2017, our entire street, probably the nearby streets, were targeted as well, but our entire street, all the cars, doors open,
We're all
everything
knocked.
was like ransacked
Bruh.
inside and
And
out.
they were all newer cars.
And they were all,
And
the
they're
whole street.
And they weren't,
I don't know about the rest though, but at least the whole street.
That's wild.
And not the old cars. Because they don't know anymore. Oh, what's
Yeah.
the key?
But no sign of break-in. It felt like they used the key or something else to open it. That's the wild part.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like watchdog vibes.
Yeah,
You know how
literally,
you can, like,
yeah.
hack into people's cars or like the traffic lights and stuff.
Oh, you guys should watch the movie Upgrade. It's literally like that.
Oh.
It's a really good movie. I decided to watch it with a friend, and we don't know what to expect. Right? It's very futuristic. That's all I knew from the trailer.
Yeah.
But no expectation. And these are not known actors as well. B-list actors
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But again, like no big names on it whatsoever. And then they had fight scenes. So you'd think it would be generic. No, thought wrong. And it's very unpredictable what's gonna happen. So yeah, it was very enjoyable. I think you guys should watch it. And it had a little bit of that, like it's about AI actually. It's
That's
funny.
crazy.
It's so fucked
I'll check
how
it
it how the plot twist was with that movie. But no, it's really
Upgrade is what it's called.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
It's really good. Yeah, I saw it in the theaters. The first week it came out, and then the thing was, it got pulled out the week after.
What?
Yeah. rated R. That's nuts.
You know
Not for nudity. No.
That's a horror movie in itself.
No, it's not. It's not horror movie. Trust me. It's an action film.
R-rated.
It's just so fucked. How
Isn't John Wick like R-rated? Sound of Freedom? Anyone?
I was gonna say, do you know
Why-
about the news about Sound of Freedom? It's
Why is that-
crazy.
Oh, not on theaters.
It's fucked. They pulled it. They literally pulled it. Like people would show up to the theater, they bought tickets to go see it, and what happened was some of the theaters actually turned off the AC.
what?
Yeah, and they forced the people to leave. And then when they started the movie,
Yeah.
previous podcast, right? That would show on the screen, and nothing would show up. So like it was just static.
Oh, what the?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they pulled like whoever is behind whatever is going on, they pull all out, and they literally saw it.
Is this like the first day?
Yeah.
What?
This was on TikTok. Like, there was a whole bunch of them, and I thought it was just the one theater. So this was in the States. So I thought it was just the one theater. No,
Mhm.
it happened in many theaters. So I'm like, okay, so how? Like I'm trying to find one in Canada, but I don't think it's even
That's-
released here.
What?
Well, it must be on VOD, right? It has to be on
I
VOD.
don't know.
Probably.
I don't know.
I have to find it. I want to watch it.
Me
now.
too.
Mhm.
Is
It's
it
crazy.
is it that bad that they have to pull it out?
No,
Or is that a
it's
market-
probably a
Is
big
that a
agenda.
marketing scheme in itself?
I
It's
think
an agenda, you know.
it's an agenda for sure.
Why children are going missing is for certain reasons,
Right.
right? And they're trying to expose that. The trailer looked really good for it too, though. Like when I watched it, I'm like, yo, this looks sick. And then I found out it's like a conspiracy thing. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I was helping I was brought on as a BCAM on this documentary. I can't really mention name or what it is about, but it kind of touched bases on that. So I can understand.
Yeah, so
you
you
know?
get it. Yeah,
Again, missing children. Like
it's a real
you
thing.
just hear about it, and now you're doing documentary about it. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
bro?
It's a real thing.
It's nuts.
They don't go missing.
And the sad
reason.
part is, we're only doing one residential school in Manitoba.
Yeah.
So imagine how many more.
All the reserves, right?
Yeah, no, it's insane.
And it's heartbreaking because you're just like, wow, this, like, when you go about your day, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
No.
You don't, like, it's never in your life path. You know about it, but when you actually think about it, it's like it's actually happening here right now.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
And what's even crazier about it is that they can actually really pinpoint who's missing, who's accounted for, right? I think that's the word. Because the way we film library and they have archivists, so that what they do is they would actually digitally scan a book or a photo, and they would try their best to actually name this person or at least where they're from, and then they can kind of like see them like, oh, did he go to this school? Where is he now? Where's his grave? You know, stuff like that.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
sad,
nuts,
man.
bro.
Oh,
But
man.
again, I can't really talk too much about it, but at the
yeah.
same time, like, it's insane. Like, I only saw a little bit about this, but like to see it in that kind of perspective just blows my mind.
Literally, right?
Like again, we went there like in the First Nation.
Yeah.
Like saw it firsthand. I'm
Correct.
like, bro. And then like finding out what they're going to do next, and like, damn.
It's
It's gonna be
dark.
insane, yeah.
It's super dark with how
Yeah.
deep it goes.
They have a rough edit, came out, I think it was yesterday. And sadly I missed the screening of it, but it would have been so interesting to kind of see how they would tell the story this
Yeah.
way, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because the way it is, it starts small. Like we follow this family who with this missing loved one, right? And it leads to the next, and it leads to the next. It leads to maintain that, trying to figure out like where are these children.
Yeah.
It's that.
Hope they find them one day.
Mm-hmm. All of them.
It's a tough fight. It's a big fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's possible.
Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't even know who you're up against, right? So at the same time.
Yeah, you don't.
The ones who work in the shadows.
That's right. Daryl, did you want to talk about your relationship status or what's going
Whoa.
on? 'Cause I know you want to talk about.
No relationship at the moment. It's just like it's a toxic pattern. It's just I feel it's like for me, I'm in that point in my life now where I'm like, do I want to get into this again or do I not? So like right now it's just it's just
Man, we're old.
I'm having my fun. Yeah, that's the thing too.
We're old.
It's weird
it's different
because
when you're it's different when you're young, 20s like Tommy, but
I know,
us
I
we're
know.
like you're
Yeah.
older than me obviously, but
Yeah.
I'm near the 30s. And
it's
you're about-
weird to be like because the dating pool like in our 30s is
It's so different.
much
It's different. It's different from
Like
what it was.
you
What's
go
it
on.
like?
What's it
No,
like?
don't
It's
tell
like-
you. Don't tell you.
Anyway, if you're like go on dating apps, it's like when you keep swiping, all the ages are within like early 20s. You'd be lucky if you find like late 20s and stuff like that, right? Whereas if say if you're your age, that's absolutely normal. But for us, it's not. Like our dating pool is
Single ladies.
single ladies, single moms,
Yeah.
or really young girls.
Yeah.
There's no in between. People our age, either married with kids, happily committed, but this or not enjoying the freedom.
Yeah, I met a couple single moms and we kicked it off, but yeah, it's different when you're older.
Is this section part for Rumble only or?
It is what it is.
I understand that, right? It's just I don't know. It's so much different. Like I don't know where your priorities at. Like for me, I'm on this app. I was like, okay, I'm not even for fling. Like start as friends, see where it goes. But at the same time, it's like you see all these like singles. I'm like looking for not even baby daddy, but like looking for a husband. I'm like shit. Okay, like I don't even know you, but at the same time, I'm like
You're worth it. I'll
fine.
try it. You guys know about the hoflation and all that.
Hoflation. I actually haven't heard of that term.
You never heard of hoflation?
No, it's new.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the Western world, you know how there's so many OnlyFans people here in both Canada and North America that it caused hoflation.
It's the whole even like double standards thing. Or
Yeah.
they want to be treated nice, but at the same time, again, they have OnlyFans, they have
Like,
all this.
women have standards of, like, this is what we always hear, so this is what I'm just going to repeat. It's not my belief. They always hear, this is what these women want. They want a 6-foot person with 6 figures, and that's 12-pack abs. Ripped to the nines. 0% body fat. Highly 1% of the world, right? So that's what they want. However, in return, they don't provide no value to the guy. And for a man, for those that listen that are women, understand that we as males do not care about your degrees, how much money you make, how popular you are. We only care about how innocent you are and how loyal you're gonna be. That's it. We don't care how much money you make. You make way more money than us, and if you're loyal, that's what it is.
Mm.
But that's like the double standard, right?
Yeah.
Like, we guys have standards too. And it's funny because, like, I had this lady come on to me and she was like trying to hit on me and stuff. This is the that lady. And she's like my age, right? She's sending me dudes and stuff. I was like, yo. And then I was like, so I have standards. And then she deleted me off DMs and Instagram. That was great. I was like, listen, if you want a 6-foot person, ripped, 6-figure year, right? Then you have to understand that I want wholesome loyalty, virgin.
Loyalty, that's a big thing.
Right? Those are
Like,
my standards.
I feel like with women now, you kind of have to pass some certain levels.
Yes.
That's how it is for me now.
Yeah.
I've been talking to this girl, right?
Ooh. This is new to me. Damn.
For like a few, it's on and off.
This is why you want to do
But
the
it's like,
podcast.
it's crazy because.
This is the tea.
Nah.
This is the tea.
This is for the exclusives.
Make sure you subscribe to our OnlyFans.
Patreon.
But anyway, it's like, you talk and you act like we're exclusive and stuff. Obviously, we're not. But at the same time, you're like, you go watch her story. It's just like, what do you call it? You see someone commenting, or a man commenting on her photos and stuff, and just like, oh, DM me. I'm like, the fuck? Okay. Like, you want to be exclusive and you do this shit? I'm like, nah, I pass. So then I just ghost, right? And then I just DM again. I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to ignore this. So again, like, you pass a certain level,
Yep.
and then you do that. So I'm like, okay, I got to put you all the way down now. I understand that at the, we're not perfect either. Like, I'm not,
No.
but I
none-
do
none of us-
have standards too.
Yeah.
So again, it's just that. It's not just you. It's not just me too. It's just, you pull this and yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of women realize that
No.
us guys have standards.
Like, they got options.
You guys have options, but I have options too, bitch.
Well, technically, we are born to not have options, right? That's the sad reality
Yep.
that's been embedded
Yeah.
onto us.
Yeah.
Whereas
There's social media.
me,
Yeah.
not even it's like Asians in general, or I don't know, but Asians in general, I think is like that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like if I choose my own freedom over a committed relationship, sadly, I'm the bad guy. Again, like a lot of
Yeah.
people, especially family members, will not see eye to eye when it
Especially the
comes to.
Filipino.
Dude,
I will happily be a villain to my family if it comes to generational wealth and success and security for my family and those I love. I will take the hate gladly.
I will choose my riches over bitches.
Oh, hey, end podcast. This is why. This is why he wanted to do this today. Damn. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Riches over bitches. Fuck them. So what was the actual pinpoint that actually changed the whole situation?
Well, the
Was
thing
it
is,
just
you have
the
to
DMs?
understand, I work in the movie industry.
Yeah.
So if I can't reply to you,
Ah.
there's a reason why. I can only reply to you on weekends when I'm not sleeping.
Yeah.
I need my sleep. So when girls think, oh, you replied too late, that's they think it's a red flag. And then I know a few groups will agree to this as well.
Sorry, I have a life.
Sorry, I have work. I work 16 hours a day.
Bitches over bitches.
They kind of turn on you when you
When you're too busy.
too busy, or even they think you ghost them,
Yeah.
but you don't. You're just too busy.
Literally. Understand,
But-
busy people.
But yeah, when it's the other way
We're
around
adults.
now, it's like so different because they play victim, right?
Yes,
And it's weird. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the heck? Like you're doing this, and obviously you can't tell them because you're not exclusive.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you what your issue is. Like, we're just seeing where things going. It's not like anything was serious, but you do this, and then you're kind of asking me why I'm not replying or I'm not talking back or
I think it's
calling
the
is-
assumption that kills the
yeah,
potential.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're hitting on other men right in front of me, right in front of everybody. Actually, not just in front of me. So I'm like, okay, see ya.
Like, cause like it's common.
It's so common.
But like every girl that I pulled was like that. They always hit on other guys in front of me. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Check out these girls that are looking at me right now. I got
I've
options.
seen that.
It's normal now.
Yeah.
Just because of social media.
And the sad part is they'll be like, "Oh, it's not. I'm just like brushing
Oh, we're
your
just
head
friends."
or whatever. We're just
Fuck
friends."
out
I'm
here.
like, no,
He's just a
I've
friend.
seen the way
Oh, you met him. That's
you
because
look
you're a
at
friend.
him. Okay.
You call that friend right now to hit you up alone. He's coming. Call him right now and tell him that you're alone and to come over. He'll come. I don't think it's ever gonna be the way it was when we grew up.
I don't think
Chivalry,
so. No.
loyalty.
Very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare. Like even then, I don't think.
And that's why I'm gonna be single forever.
Facts. Like even we're losing all these traditions. Like for example, us growing up, apparently the guy would go to your place and play songs through your guitar, like outside your house. And that was like a big thing back then. Probably in the province more than the city, but that was the thing. And now you don't see it, right? Like
Yeah,
I think the only
actually asking their parents to
Yeah.
court your daughter.
Yes.
That isn't a thing anymore.
Mhm.
It's weird.
Mhm.
And like people get married without even asking permission.
And I only
Like
see
what?
this tradition in Philippines, like
For
provinces.
the singing. Yes.
Yeah. or even like just the getting married part in general. Like there is this ritual where right before the wedding, you guys have to kind of like have like a meeting.
Yes.
Like okay, like obviously the wedding part, the family's hugely involved. Like they're gonna be in the window asking like where are you guys getting married, what date, what time, where, blah blah blah. Right? That's the gist of it. And then the other thing is the guy is supposed to bring food too to offer to the family. And Asian household leave their home country, all these traditions die.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not I think it's mostly because we don't do it.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, they don't. No, mainly a lot of them don't let these traditions die because I think it's a choice. Because think about it, we've done plenty of Indian weddings, and those traditions they stay.
They stay. Indian
Right,
weddings,
so,
yeah. Those
yeah, so.
like even like Chinese weddings,
Yeah,
tea ceremonies and all that.
exactly.
The traditions always stay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's very rare now.
It's very rare.
Assimilation.
Because again, like think about it. What are you against? Like you're against women with had a high body count.
I'm against that.
Women or independent women.
Yep.
Which is, I think these are the ones who probably marry
Later.
late,
Yeah.
only because they
You know what they want.
that and also family,
Yeah.
family or friends forcing them like, oh, you're the last of your batch or whatever.
I know a couple of good
And then-
independent women that are like that.
Yeah,
I can name them off the back right now. They're really good
yeah,
people.
yeah. I know.
But they just decide to be single.
And then traumatic, traumatized. So,
Yeah,
Yes.
cycles of
Women
trauma.
with traumas,
Yes,
yeah.
like bad
so-
past partners. Which
Yeah.
is,
So again, not a lot.
And bring it into the next relationship.
it's actually
Yeah.
common.
It's
It's
so
more
common,
common than
yeah.
you think.
Like,
It's
y'all
actually,
need to heal, man. Jeez.
it's actually very sad.
If y'all get into heartbreak or toxic relationships, heal from that shit. I don't care how long it takes. Can't be bringing that to the next relationship.
Yeah. And again, they don't realize that, right?
No.
I've seen plenty
Especially
who
you
jump.
guys. Guys need to heal too. Sorry, go
And
ahead.
guys need
I've
to
seen
do better.
plenty
Stop treating your
of
girls
them
like
who-
trash.
Facts.
I've seen plenty of them like, right after a relationship, jump on the next one.
Yeah.
Like,
Right
you
away.
haven't healed yet.
They didn't
You're,
take the
you're
time to
carrying
heal.
all this
Mhm.
into the next one.
And then they have babies, and then it gets worse.
Yeah.
It's just like what?
And that's why it's there's a high divorce count.
Yep.
In this
In,
Day and
in the
age.
Western world,
yeah.
just the Western. I feel like everything that we think that is what we're experiencing right now is only in the Western world. I'm pretty sure in the Eastern world it's a lot different.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can't be too sure though because I haven't been to these like that is what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Passport bros.
No.
I got the Canada passport, so any of you Vietnamese girls in, okay, what?
Oh.
Anyone in Hanoi?
It's very specific.
It's a shame because guys like us who have like good standards and like strong morals and stuff, when you get into a relationship with someone who has all that baggage, now you have to like pick at it to.
You have to compromise to their you have to compromise to their trauma.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
And the only way you can get rid of your trauma is you have to put it down and accept it, and move forward.
I mean, that's how you grow, right? But some people, they want to accept that.
Yeah.
You know?
So like, listen, I am.
It's not like
who I am. It's like,
yeah. It's not like I'm putting this in your face that boom, this is your problem, blah blah blah. No, it's like I want to help you, but you don't want to fix it. So, yeah.
Hands down.
And now you're spending a lot of your time trying to fix someone. And it's like that weird balance of this is a quote in one of my quotes that I'll share later down the line in my threads, which is actually
Yes.
Omar said this, which was, who am I to you, your boyfriend or your therapist?
Oh,
That's facts, honestly.
That's true.
Like, you shouldn't be bringing your trauma to the next relationship that you're in, and you shouldn't be finding the same cycles in that new person you're with. Y'all both need to heal, whatever it is. Like that's why there's so many different like toxic relationships, is because none of y'all heal.
and that's why I choose not to date.
Y'all need to heal, man. It's guys especially. Like literally, guys will take their lives over a girl that broke up with them for no reason.
100%.
Y'all need to heal. Like, this person is not your whole life.
And if you guys want to take a course, you can check out Criswalkz Realtalkz.
Ebook.
It's funny though, because I did want to become like a psychiatrist in the future whenever that
Oh,
happens.
yeah,
So
told me that.
I do feel like I would make a good psychiatrist if I decided to take that road. But right now I'm on the entrepreneur path, so
I could too. I was thinking about being a therapist.
yeah, like I want to help people. Like,
Yeah.
it's, like hands down, like y'all need to heal. Like I think like understand your mind, the way it's connected, and the way the wavelengths work, right?
But I don't want to follow the traditional therapist route. I just want to tell you how it is.
That's right.
I don't want to be like, oh, I understand you're going through a lot of things right now. You know, let's just take it day by day. I don't know. I feel like I'm just going to...
Yeah,
Here you go.
I'll say it to your face real, and if you don't like it, I don't care. Like it took me a long time to heal too. Like the Korean girlfriend that I had, the ex, she ruined me, and I was healing for 4 years. I literally took 4 years just to figure it out, and then I stood from that. So like guys, it takes time, especially men. Men, it takes time. Women can get over it quicker because they're emotional beings. Men, we're not emotional beings, so it's a little bit different.
Actually, I encourage you guys to get cheated on at least once.
Yes,
Facts.
It builds character.
I got cheated on many times.
You need pain to grow. It's kind of
And the
sadistic in a
gym.
way. And the gym.
Yeah, it's
I think it's understandable from my perspective. People my age don't want to date now either. And like again, I was talking to my tattoo artist, and this has been an ongoing topic for section. And she said like, you know, like someday I probably don't want to get married. You know, I probably don't want to get kids. I'm like, yo, what? Like you're crazy. And it's the same thing for other people like I talk to, right? So,
yeah. I'm
I'm like, I totally understand that. I'm like, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
You know, like it's different for me because I know for other people like, oh, they see couples and then they kind of go into a like emotional kind of downhill from there.
Like a
But
depression.
for me, it was
state.
like,
yeah.
oh, okay,
It's
cool.
like a trigger for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess maybe before, but it's just like, you're there, cool. You're not, cool.
Do you think part of that, of people in your age bracket for dating, is it mainly because of financials?
It's a lot of things. I think we don't really look into that their financial status as a compatibility for like, are we good as a couple?
No,
We
I
don't
meant,
look at that.
I meant as in their choice to not marry or get in a relationship because
Oh.
of their financials. They don't want that kind of burden because they want to take care of their financials first.
Yeah, I don't really know. We really need a woman's perspective on that, but I can't speak for them, obviously.
Yeah, no, I can't either.
But it's just them wanting to choose the freedom
Okay.
rather than being in a committed relationship. I think that's the best way to put it.
But would you say
And-
that's part of the brainwashing that has been adapted here in Western culture and media? Or
I don't think so, not at all. Because
Okay.
the way I see it is that I know for a fact that they're probably brainwashed more into actually getting married and having kids. I think,
Yes.
that's best way to put it.
That's facts.
And again, like, if you're,
by
if
age 25, you have to have housewife kids.
yeah, exactly.
And
So it's like, again, it's
never
embedded
happens to
on
most
us.
people.
But
I see, yeah.
but those who
Like, that's
choose
a-
the other
that's a
route,
milestone
it's
goal.
like, oh, I don't know you or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a milestone goal. So when you don't reach it, right, then you're just like, okay,
Mhm.
what next? Do you feel like you'll ever meet the one though? Like, if you like, say you did meet the dream girl that you want,
Mm.
would you actually go for it? Because I feel
Probably
like
not.
for me, I've been so independent for so many years that these flings that I have is more of like, it doesn't really matter to me, right? So if I do meet the one, then it's just like, well, I'm too independent to, like, I'm scared to do this because I'm too independent.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so comfortable being independent that I'm not used to being able to become compliant, or what's the word?
I think I'm way past that, meaning the one, because I thought I had that before too, right?
Oh.
Again, now it's just like it's do you pass certain levels for me? That's what it is. It's not like automatically if you don't pass certain level, you're out. It's not like that, right? But it's more so like I got close to that dream girl, but at the same time it's like the more you get to know them, like, oh, you know what? Yes, we're so much alike. It's crazy how alike we are, but at the same time, as person, we're also very completely different. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yep.
At that point, that really broke
Your heart.
that really broke what I had in mind as a dream girl per se.
It broke the image.
Yeah, it broke the image
Yeah.
exactly, and yeah, again, and I think that's why now it's just like, well, if you pass certain levels for me, you know, I think that's my way of putting it anyway.
Interesting. Well, when you mentioned the image that guys have of a dream girl, you think about it. It's just like, okay, what if I did meet the one?
Mm-hmm.
Well, chances are 100% it's going to be the same values as who you are right now.
Yeah.
So you're going to be dating a split image of you.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm more afraid of, is finding someone like me, because I don't even like me. I don't want to deal with another me. You know, like I'm me myself as a one is hard enough to deal with.
See, that's what I noticed at first when I actually thought I met someone
Yeah.
like that. I was like, that's a little bit too much of me, you know, like
It's pretty extreme, right?
I saw the independent side of
Yeah.
me, and I was like, oh, that's okay. That's not cool. You know, I don't like that.
Right?
Like, again, independent. I tend to not reply.
Yeah.
If on my convenience, out of my convenience, I don't want to reply unless I actually fully commit my time to you at this certain time. Like, okay, you know what? I'm free. Let's talk. Stuff like that, right?
Like there
Or-
has to be a condition to understand.
Yeah, I don't want to just reply to them like,
Yeah.
okay, boom, done. I don't want to do that.
No, I get that.
Like, there's no connection
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
You're just there you're just answering to the question or to the conversation. You're not really conversating per se. There's no
exchange. Damn. Yeah, we're just conversating, but there's no conversation.
Whoa.
Bro.
Damn, that reminds me of a song. It talked about that, where it's like, I can't hear what you're saying.
Yes.
But like from like in a deeper meaning, like I hear what you're saying, but I can't actually hear what you're saying.
And it's so true.
Right?
It's so true. So anyways, Darryl single, for those that are watching. Come hit him up. DP at the DP
Wow.
Instagram. He's gonna change his Instagram handle now. Where do you think film and movies are gonna go in the future? Because I forgot to bring this up, because you know now that everyone's on strike.
Mhm.
So can you tell us why they're on strike? And do you think the possibility of AI is going to replace these actors and editors and VFX, right? So there's a lot of AI tools that do the VFX already. So I'm not too sure your insight on that.
Well, you have to kind of start from the beginning on when and where these strikes started, right? So it started right when
Wolverine,
the
right?
DP got shot.
Yes.
Helena,
Oh.
she got shot. Because what happening behind the scenes is that literally their camera crew quit the day they were shooting that when she got shot. So the production had to hire these students, non-union. They were non-union, but it's a union shoot. Technically, you can't do that.
No,
But since they need people, they just hired someone. And the sad part was apparently, I think it was the producers. They were wearing a shirt. Wearing few of the heads were wearing shirts that the camera crew was saying on them. I think it's like, we need sleep or something like that, right? They were very sleep deprived. So it was a comment towards them that they they really showed up on set the day of that saying we can't do this, we're out. And even I remember Helena said goodbye to them, gave their hugs and everything, and then that happened. So that's when all these union people kind of came together and had the strike where we need better hours, we need better pay. So what that was about is technically they want less than 12 hours per day.
Yeah, because
Can't get it.
Because you guys on the film set work literally on call 12 hours, 16 hours a day easily. I know that. Yeah.
Easily. And that's on
not
average.
fair.
That's on average.
Yeah.
Now they try to go less. You can't avoid it, 12 hours, but they're trying to go, if you're going to go 12 hours, at least you need to be
3
done
days.
filming on top. Like I'm talking about like literally walking away
Yes.
on 12 hours.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Like when the
it's
time
not really-
comes, it's dangerous.
Yeah, but it's not really,
It's not logical.
it's not logical
No.
because especially camera, you have to pack everything up. Same goes for lighting. And they understand that, right? So they just pay you a little extra on top of the 12 hours that
You're there.
you're there. But the way they work now and the way they kind of passed it or worked around it is that whoever's paid the most gets to leave first. So obviously DP,
So it's a higher
first
tier.
AC, yes. So DP, first AC, all the heads that don't need to be there to wrap everything out or gear, you're out. You're out on the clock, right? 12 hours. And then everything else you need to pack, let's do it. But obviously the most who has to pack everything would be me, trainee, and then the second camera assistant.
Yeah.
So we're the last ones to close the truck, lock the truck, make sure everything's accounted for.
Correct.
That's our job. So usually we're last. Like I would say if we're done at 12, maybe give me half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on how big the show is, usually an hour to leave. So that's 13 hours,
That's
right?
usually
13, 4
hours,
hours.
yeah.
Yeah. They did get it. The better hours, they make sure they don't go over as much anymore because they travel and that's accounted for too, right? So they kind of got that. But at the same time, now it's like, okay, the writers. The main thing was, chat. Now they don't want to hire the writers because they can just go chat GPT.
Yep.
But the problem is these writers, they're not just writing. They're not just writing random words or whatever. Right? It comes from experiences. Comes from trauma. You know what builds a character? What builds a story? That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Chat GPT doesn't have that. It's only working off of prompts.
Yes.
So you can't really expect it. You can, but you can't really expect to make a movie out of this. That was the whole.
We've actually prompted on ChatGPT a short film, Korean drama style,
Yes.
and it did it the way it how it is.
Yeah.
However, the missing factor was emotion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, like I said in the very beginning, cinematography is emotion. If you know how to play with emotion, you're doing your job. Because it doesn't matter whether you like my film, whether you hate my film, whether you made you cry, whether you made you laugh. I did my part because that's what I was aiming for.
Definitely.
Exactly. So, again, Chat GPT, I don't think it can do that. It can with proper directing, yes.
But you still have to prompt it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's what these writers were going for because they want better pay. But now that they have Chat GPT, they don't want to pay them.
Yeah.
Right? They just want to go chat GPT, write me this, and then boom. And then same thing for actors, because think about it, 12, 16 hours days. Yes, crews there longer, but actors are there longer too.
Yes.
They're on their trailer, yes, but they
They're
also
waiting for it.
By the time we wrap, there's still an actor there, one or two actor at least.
Yep.
That's there with you. They want better conditions.
Oh, I
right?
believe
So
that 100%.
it's crazy because the way I've seen it work for the most part anyway is that they'll bring someone in early, like first thing in the morning, preferably half an hour before, or an hour after everyone comes in to work, because we don't shoot until an hour after, once everything's set up.
Yeah.
So an actor would be there available to shoot, ready to go, right?
Yeah.
And then if this actor is going to be playing again later tonight or acting again later tonight, they would have to go for a lunch, either a lunch or a break. So they would go back to the hotel or trailer, depending on how far it is or when they need them again.
Yeah.
So if say within 30 minutes to an hour, they'll probably be in the trailer. If not, they'll go on the hotel, right? But there is a window. So when that person's done, next person comes in, that one's on standby. So again, depending on how far they are to the set, they'll probably go trailer or hotel. So this person's here now. But imagine that person's still playing later.
Yes.
So what time we start? Let's say 6, 7-ish in the morning. So that person's gonna be playing until 6 p.m., 7 p.m. in the evening. And then we wrap at say 8 or 9. So they're there whole day. Yes, they had a break, but imagine they
They're on
started
standby.
early.
Yeah, they're on standby.
So their day is not done. Whereas this person had a late start, but also they finished early. So that was the condition that they were, at least one of the conditions that they wanted to have better.
Damn. And also like the AI, because obviously you've seen the Morgan Freeman filter where you can actually
The voice.
be the voice of and actually look like Morgan Freeman, right?
Yeah.
So I think that actually ties into it too, right? The whole AI video thing.
I mean, VFX you can do anything,
Yeah,
but now
yeah.
it's AI we're talking about, right?
All
So
hands out.
it's a bit of both, really, best of both worlds, I'd say.
So do you think you're for the strike or against it?
I'm definitely for the strike. You know,
I believe it.
yeah, it's hour wise we can never avoid it.
Yeah.
It's there. I think 12-hour days is regular for me. 10-hour days, lucky. The problem with that is now I feel like I'm being undercut because in the department I'm the lowest paid amount, but I'm there the longest.
Yeah.
So you know how that works.
Yeah. No,
So,
I understand.
Yeah. So they bring the least amount paid longer because they can't be the guys who are
Yes.
on top of the ladder. So yeah, it's unfair, but at the same time I understand because I have to work my way up from the bottom.
Yes. I know.
Which I totally get, right? Like it's I get it. That's what I signed up for from the very beginning. But now comes to the point where it's almost an abuse. You know, it's literally an abuse. So like, yeah, I'm not sure this is for me anymore. And that's why I like working on my own stuff. It's amazing. You have so much time, so much freedom. You're passionate. You're working on stuff you want, and not just for the money, but this is something you really want. You're working for a great cause. So you know what's next for me?
Yes.
Right now, I'm helping shoot a documentary. I don't know when's that next, but also on my own side, I'm also trying to get funding for the next documentary. Everything's pretty much ready to go. We're just looking to get some funds, and yeah, I think it's a pretty interesting story. Almost adjacent to Range of Emotion, the last documentary.
Oh yeah,
Which
shout out to
also
Darryl and his team there for the Ranger of Emotion. Make sure you guys check it out on Amazon
Prime US.
yes.
Or Tubi TV, if you're in Canada.
It's really good. Like he sent me the final draft before they submitted it. I cried. It was so good. It was like a Netflix special. That's how good it was. And Netflix didn't sign you guys, right? Yo,
No.
fuck Netflix.
No, the thing is, it started when Shami Media Group took us as a distributor, right?
Oh, okay.
They first offered on the bigger streaming platforms, so Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, all those big guys, big names. But obviously, no one took them, and then they start with the next ones available. So, Kings of Dogs. There was a few on there. Disability. I can't remember the full name, and then a few other ones. They actually sent us a list on email. Some said submitted, some said pending, and so forth. But it's only recently that Amazon Prime took us again. I think it's just because of Tubi TV in general.
Congrats.
Yeah.
But I didn't find out until early this year. I'd
This
say
year.
March.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, that's cool. Because no, April, sorry. Because when I got the quarter report, it says Amazon Prime. I'm like, wait, are we on Amazon Prime? So I've been searching Canada. I'm like, oh, it's not here.
It's not here, it's the States.
And then my buddy with a VPN. Actually, it was Chris. The documentaries about. He has a VPN and he saw Amazon. He saw Range of Motion Amazon Prime in US. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Just celebrity.
Wow.
Why do I feel it's gonna be like a Joe Coy thing? Like, you know how Joe Coy said he sent Netflix's specials multiple times?
Didn't buy it.
Didn't buy it,
My
and then when he got
goodness.
super famous, they bought it. It's gonna happen the same
Oh
way.
my goodness.
Fuck you, Netflix. I'm
That's-
cutting those out. But
What's crazy is again like
fuck you, Netflix.
I think it's just us Asians in general. Is that I told my family, my parents, I'm like, oh, I'm on Amazon Prime. Look, my name on it. I'm like, Amazon Prime? Why not Netflix? I'm like,
Yeah. It's like, wow, you can congratulate me for this one achievement.
Okay.
It's always gonna be like that though, hey?
It's
Oh, you
always
got an
like
Emmy?
that.
Why not an Oscar?
Yeah.
Oh, facts. Oh my goodness.
It's true though. True though.
Oh, you got a bachelor? Why didn't you get a doctor?
Doctor.
Whatever, it's higher than that.
PhD.
It's like,
Oh,
oh,
you
you
can
made,
do my own
it's like,
thing,
oh, you
man.
made 100K. Why not 1 million? Well, why can't you thank me for getting to 100K? You know, like, yeah. Congratulate people where they are, you guys. Like, stop hating on each other.
Yeah.
Cheering for one person's success is not gonna hinder your success.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Well,
actually,
that's what
I'm
you're
kidding.
Okay. Okay.
Spill some tea here.
Nah, I'm kidding.
Unless you work with the wrong people. And they take your clients and your models.
Yeah, I just realized.
And your sides.
Yeah, and your
Just realize who's out there actually supporting you on the other side, not just face to face, but like like in secret. Not a lot of people. Not these people will not actually
say it to your face.
say to you face to face
Yeah.
or even around other people because it's probably gonna be hella controversial for them because I've had people actually way higher ups than me talk to me like on the side and say, hey, I really believe in you. I really, I like what you're going. And when I told you when I left that movie,
Yes.
it was the same thing. Like they supported me. I'm like, okay, thank you. Like really means a lot to me because like you probably know, but you probably don't know.
No. Yeah.
I went through. So yeah, it's guys. It's great that after what happened, it's great that these people are still here. And to me, that's all that matters.
And we as entrepreneurs know who's supporting us.
Mm-hmm.
So if you thought you knew about us and you supported us in the beginning, you did it because we know who actually reached out to us.
Yeah.
Because I've got a couple DMs from people that never thought would have liked my content and talked to me about it on the side. I'm like, yo, this is sick. Like, thanks. Like, it's dope to show my stuff, but I actually don't care.
Like,
Thank you.
great job. But when I was starting, where were you?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, okay, well, thanks.
I mentioned this to you in the DMs a few days ago, which was, or no, it must have been in a group chat, but it was, no one cares about you until you're successful.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's facts. And then they're like, oh, I was there for you all the time. I was like, no, you aren't. I keep receipts of people that appreciate me, right? I have all these screenshots. You're not there.
So let me pull up my binder,
This is from
my banker's box.
It's from dated 2008.
1994 when I was born.
Yo.
Y'all weren't there. I was joking. But no, I keep receipts. We know we appreciate this, and thank you.
Yeah.
How are you getting it? So that's your project
Yeah.
that you're working on?
That's my project. I can't wait to actually film it because it's not even just about the person overcoming all these things that like he literally couldn't walk.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
feel like
less
this
than
one-
1% chance to live, and he overcome all that. But it's not even just that. That's so amazing. It's the whole process of it. Like, I believe he had 4 or 5 doctors
Correct. Watch
Like-
out for him.
watch out for him and literally work on him
Yeah.
to make sure that he's able to walk again and rewire his brain on how he could like
Psychologically get over it. Yeah.
exactly or like control his fingers, his limbs and stuff like that. Right? It's so amazing, and we can't wait to like really dissect that and just go through that process with the doctors and yeah, like get to the story. Right?
Yeah, I actually know the person that they're going to be doing the film about, the documentaries, right? And he's a really great person. I feel like he's going to relate to a lot of people that went to the gym
Yeah.
and a lot of people that like riding their motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
So this documentary, Netflix, you better. Like, man, I know this guy. Like, we went to Maples. We went to high school together, and I know who he is and how he is a person. He changed significantly. If this is not like a hero story documentary, then you know that it's not for you. But this is what it is. It's a hero story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it overcomes you being like the best, fittest person in the world to losing your leg on a motorcycle accident, which is very common for most families, right? And then you can't walk. And all of a sudden you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna walk.
Yeah.
And you walk.
Like I already had a title and a subtitle for it, but I even thought of like other option ones. Just recently, I've been playing around with Scrubs as the main title, and then I would put subtitle as "Not All Heroes Wear Cape."
It's fast.
But it's about the doctors too, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, that's like pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably for another documentary, but
I'm excited for this one,
it's
man.
something. It's in the works.
Yeah, so Darryl's actually looking for funding for those that are wondering. So if you're interested in this project, make sure you DM him on the side. The ROI will be significant. This guy's already on Amazon Prime. What do you mean? Oh, you're on Netflix. Oh, get the fuck out! Who are you?
It's not Apple TV.
Oh,
It's not Treehouse.
I don't even want Apple TV.
It's not
And I
my
have
TV,
it.
bro. No, like, congrats.
Oh my goodness. Just shout out to my team. For those who really believe in me, truly believe in me, Chris, for sure, you're one of them. And to everyone else, you know who you are already. But yeah, just keep creating, keep making stuff happen. That's what it is for yourself, mostly, not for anyone, for yourself.
Damn. You really said that, eh? My heart. You feel it pounding?
I felt that.
Damn. Are you still single?
Yes.
Make sure you guys hit up Darryl. Plug your Instagram handle.
dp dot dp on Instagram
And
and
your
Threads.
Threads. Don't you have a website too, like a business website?
Yes, I also have 8raystudio.com for my weddings, but I'll be making my own personal for cinematography and photography stuff soon. So, DarrylPalapuz.com.
Whoa.
tuned.
This is wow.
Stay tuned.
Damn, I did not know that. Jeez.
I need to. We're going LA, bro.
Yeah,
Gotta hit
that's
up
facts.
model
You gotta be
agencies.
pretty, be personal. You need that personal brand.
I know. It's hard. It's been working on it.
Same.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's a big struggle of mine.
It
Personal
is.
Personal
brand.
brand? You think so?
Like it's so easy to work for someone's branding because they know what they want. I
Yes.
don't know what I want.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Oh.
Honestly, it'll take me a day to build someone a website just because they can give me all this. I don't. Like I want
Interesting.
something and then in later I come back to it and like, I don't want it anymore. So it's just nonstop going back and forth. I'm like,
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Darryl, for
No
coming
problem.
on to my podcast show.
Thank you for
Criswalkz
having
Realtalkz.
me.
Thank you, Tommy, for joining. This is a special episode, 2 hours long plus. And I think this will be really good content long term, so this will probably be going on for a while.
nice.
And last minute plugs. Or no?
Ooh, all right. Follow Criswalkz Realtalkz on Instagram. Follow his personal as well at Criswalkz, at Tommy Indirect, at DP the DP with the dots in the middle. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one.
We'll see you in the next episode. Woo! Maybe these guys will show as co-hosts too.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Let's go.
We'll never know. You guys are watching. I'll see you in the next video.
Peace.
Peace.